everyone, and welcome back to Ruben Uncut. It's that time of year again for my annual tradition of making an episode to come out on Easter, where I talk with my good friend and actor, Dean Coutris.
Hello, everybody.
Dean, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back. This is what, our fifth year doing
We
this?
we have been consistently, I believe, it is either the fourth or fifth year of us consistently doing Easter.
Mm-hmm.
We've done a few Thanksgivings, but I don't think Thanksgiving has been as consistent as Easter.
Easter, yeah.
Although I
Yeah.
would have to check the recordings to actually double check if that's true or not.
So, Easter bunnies, chocolate eggs,
Yep.
all that good stuff, and Ruben Uncut with Dean.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the new Easter tradition.
That's a new Easter tradition.
Well, technically I'm not spending the real Easter with Dean. We're recording it to be released on Easter.
Yes.
But, it's the internet. I guess that's how it works. Theoretically, we could do a live stream on Easter, but
that would be intense.
potentially.
Or we could maybe we should travel. No, this is a bad idea. Never mind. Bad idea. I was like, we could travel to Jerusalem on the side of the resurrection and have a live stream, but no,
It will cost too
no.
much. Cost too
No.
much. And
It,
also,
I don't. That is not a part of the world that we want to be in right now.
no, it's not a good
Unfortunately,
time to go to the Middle East. It is
no,
not a good time for that.
no.
But in lieu of that, admittedly, great idea, or dangerous idea, as one could call it. Today, what we're going to do is I've created a tier list, and we're gonna go through some right wing pundit. Well, it's largely right wing pundits, but we'll also throw in some politicians as well, and we're going to rank them uh, based on how far right we think they are.
I like this. I like this. You told me this idea. I have not seen this list, so this is the first time that this is happening for me. So this is going to be spontaneous, in the moment reaction. I'm looking forward to this.
And I will be honest, there are a couple people on the list that I actually don't know. If you
Mhm.
recognize them, feel free to let me know.
Okay.
But if we don't recognize them, we'll just leave them in the section marked unknown.
And
Uh,
and maybe we can also kind of deduce if people aren't on the list, like where they may fall.
sure, sure. If
Yeah.
you notice anyone we don't have here,
Yeah.
let me know. All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna share the screen now.
Pop that up there.
All right, so let's go over the different tiers that I've got here. The bottom we have unknown. I put everyone at unknown to begin, but the reality is I do know a lot of them.
Uh,
But let's see here. At the lowest category, we have just useful idiots. These
okay.
are people who I would say don't have real politics of any kind. And
They're centrists.
I guess you could say that they. I do have center right, or maybe I should call that right of center.
Uh-huh.
But I do have right of center,
Okay.
or center right. Anti woke culture grifters.
Hmm.
I won't lie. I think a lot of people are gonna go in this category.
There's people who are anti-woke culture grifters that are also on the left too, or claim to be on the left.
The second you start saying you're anti woke, you lose a lot of like left wing points.
Yeah.
But if you have anyone that comes to mind, feel free to mention them and whatnot.
Gotcha.
Next up is Nazi/fascist adjacent. These
Okay.
are people who are pretty far right, but either don't really realize how far right they are. This is kind of spoilers, but someone who I'm definitely considering putting in here is Ben Shapiro. I think he's a good
Uh,
example because at some point he's going to wake up and realize he is surrounded by Nazis. And then of course we have fascists, and I did put Nazis above fascists, but I mean like the only real distinguishable difference between these ideologies is that the Nazis want to blame the Jews for everything.
that's really the big marker difference right there.
Yeah, no, exactly, exactly.
Okay.
All right, so let's go down here. We can go through. Do we want to go through in any particular? We'll just go left. Let's just go left to right to start
Well,
off.
who is that?
This
That
first
looks like
guy
a Game
here.
of Thrones character.
So this first guy here is interesting. His name is Shadiversity. Shadiversity. I'm sorry.
I've heard of this person. What? Okay, what's his deal?
He originally started out as a YouTuber who made sword content,
Oh,
like episodes talking about like medieval swords. Um,
I could get into that.
the thing is that he went the whole anti woke thing, and he spends most of his time complaining that movies are too woke now.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah,
And
yeah,
he's also a terrible fantasy writer, apparently.
yeah.
Uh,
Dude, there are, I'm telling you, I think Ben Shapiro kind of falls in that category where there were like spurned Hollywood writers and they're just pissed off and they have a gripe and they're like just that's why they're so hurt that they
yeah,
haven't really truly gone through their hurt
there are
and
a few.
understood it and processed it. And what they're doing is they're projecting all of this stuff. They're upset that they weren't accepted.
There are a number. There are a number of Hollywood dropouts on this
Yeah.
list, and I'll comment on them as we go through them.
So
Uh,
this guy's anti-woke. You know what? It sounds like he probably ran out of medieval sword content. And he's trying to stay relevant. So he went on his, where is he? Boop, 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 boop. Anti-woke culture war grifter. Yeah, that sounds about right.
yeah, I just based on my limited knowledge of his politics, I would say that this is where he most safely sits
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
I don't know this next guy. Do you recognize this guy?
No, I don't.
All right,
I
then we're gonna
don't.
leave
I don't
him.
know who that is.
Then I'm gonna leave him
Let's
where
just
he is.
skip him. Let's not categorize him without knowing really who he is. Who's that guy?
This guy, I know who this guy. This guy is. He runs a channel called Geeks and Gamers.
Okay.
I don't remember his real name, but he's part of like a collective of anti woke grifters. Who, in one of the most satisfying moments of internet justice that I can think of, he was one of he initially was a big supporter of releasing the Snyder Cut,
Okay.
but then on a live stream with featuring Zack Snyder with a bunch of other internet like nerd type people, he actively disowned Geeks and Gamers channel because he had heard about how racist they were being to Asians at the time.
Okay.
And so, like, this guy put in all this effort to support Zack Snyder, and then Zack Snyder, like, because it's worth noting, Zack Snyder has adopted Asian children.
Okay.
And so, like, on a live stream that this guy was watching because he had donated money to the event, Zack Snyder actively said, "We are not associated with Geeks and Gamers," and just outright disowned him on live, which is pretty satisfying for me personally.
Wow. Okay.
So he's definitely an anti-woke culture grifter.
Okay. All right.
He's just one of these people, who makes all their money by like telling you that movies aren't good anymore because of the woke.
Ugh, God. Get death there.
Now, of course, we know who this guy is.
That's Steve Bannon,
Yeah,
Jabba the Hutt,
who looks
aka.
like a mall Santa without his beard, and not the good mall Santa either.
No, no. That's the mall Santa that you steer away from.
Yeah, no, this is the mall Santa who appreciates your child sitting on their lap a little too
A
much.
little too much. What would you like, little boy?
Yeah,
Ugh.
no, at least that's what the Epstein files say.
Yeah,
Uh,
how about that? Yeah, that motherfucker is in the fucking Epstein files.
Now, the question is, how far right do we think Steve Bannon is?
Um, man,
He has to at least, I think he's at least a fascist.
I would agree. I would agree. I think it's a safe bet to put him in as a fascist. I don't know if I've actually heard him say anything anti-Semitic,
Mhm.
but
I know he does support replacement theory, but like the replacement theory does seem to have shifted, so it's not entirely anti-Semitic anymore.
okay.
Now
Yeah,
it
and
does.
replacement theory is more about Latinos, right?
Well, the replacement theory could be any non-white race. To be fair, now
Hmm.
it was originally a Nazi propaganda point. The idea of replacement theory was that the Jews were trying to bring other races into America to dilute the white population, so that our
Yeah.
power would eventually be removed. Now, to be fair, historically, there's no reason to believe that would happen. because there have been numerous points in history where white people dominated cultures that they were the minority in.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like every single British colony except America.
Oh my goodness.
Like India, Africa, like there's so many examples of like British or Dutch or Belgian colonization where like despite being the minority, they had all the power.
The white people just they find a way, man. They
Yeah.
find a way. It's yeah.
But replacement theory now, they seem to have shifted replacement theory. They're like, well, yeah, we were saying about Jewish people before, but what if we just started saying Democrats?
Oh my, yeah.
The Democrats want less white people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, crazy liberals and leftists, man, that
Yeah.
want, yeah. Which also that's a category in and of itself too. On the left wing,
Oh,
separating
yeah, yeah.
those groups out.
I guess I
Um,
could have extended it to include technically liberal people.
maybe we do that another time.
Sure.
Yeah. Um, okay. So yeah, I think Bannon, yeah, I think fascist is good.
Yeah.
Maybe Nazi. Hmm.
I mean, like it's confusing. The Nazi part is
Yeah.
confusing here because like one of the weirdest things that came out of the Epstein files is that Jeffrey Epstein, who is a Jewish man, like actively promoted like certain like spaces that it led to like the increasing in like general Nazi sentiment.
Yeah, it's really weird to seeing those bedfellows, really
Yeah, no,
weird seeing those
like
bedfellows.
at a certain level, it doesn't. It feels like it shouldn't make sense, you know?
Well, it's
Like,
it's the it's the whole it's the whole thing. It's also the same thing with Zionists who, the evangelical Christians want the Holy Lands to go back to the Jews, and
mhm.
that way Jesus will come back, and then they'll kill all, and then all the Jews will be eradicated. And it's like, well, okay. So yeah, it's just it's weird. It's weird.
But I am going to put him in fascist for now.
Okay.
There's probably an argument for him being a Nazi, but like it's just not like there's some gray area there. I don't know what
Okay.
his actual position on the Jewish question is.
Okay.
All right, I can't place this dude's face.
Is that's not Jamie Dimon, is it?
Hold on, let me look at. Hold on, I'm gonna Google a picture of Jamie Dimon real
Jamie
quick.
Dimon's
Jamie
the
Dimon. I know who. Yeah, I
which
know who
McCall.
Jamie Dimon is.
That's not him though.
That is not Jamie Dimon. No.
Okay.
Jamie Dimon, for people who don't know, runs one of America's largest. Is it? Wait, is he Chase or Capital?
It's Chase.
Yeah, I think that's right. Oh, JP. Yeah,
Um
JP Morgan Chase.
that's
Which
not what's his name? That's not Savage, is it? What's that guy's Jim, not Jim Savage.
let's see here. There's Michael Savage. Is
Michael Savage. Yeah, yeah.
that is not Michael Savage.
Okay. I don't know who
Michael
that is
Savage
then.
looks like he's had a few more cheeseburgers on that guy.
Okay.
Oh, no wonder he calls himself Michael Savage. Michael Savage's real name is Michael Allen Wiener.
Yeah, I changed my name too. Just saying.
Okay, so this guy has a face like I should know who he is,
Yeah, I know. I know.
but it is completely escaping me.
Hmm.
Um, like he looks vaguely familiar, but he might just have old white guy face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but that
Tucker
brings us
Carlson.
to Tucker Carlson, who actually is on here twice because I missed that he was on here when I added him.
That's okay.
Yeah, but Tucker Carlson, Tucker
I think he's a
Carl.
Nazi.
Yeah, I actually do. I agree. I agree. Tucker Carlson is a Nazi. I think that's pretty clear. Um,
He's pretty anti-Semitic.
yeah, no, he's clearly leaning on the Jews
Yeah,
these days. Like it's like him and Candace Owens, basically.
big time.
Yeah, definitely. So,
Yeah.
you know, I felt like there should have been more of a discussion about Tucker Carlson, but it's not even subtle.
No, no, I don't think we need to debate it. Yeah. Who also might be running for president very soon.
Which, speaking of people who are probably Nazis, we've got Nick Fuentes.
Oh,
And
he's a like a self. he claimed himself to be a Nazi.
Here, the only thing that okay, I will. He is probably a Nazi, but I do have one argument I want to make for the possibility of him not being a Nazi, which is that there is a distinctive possibility that he actually believes in nothing.
Um,
Like
okay,
he,
so that brings up an interesting question. So what are you basing that on?
so recently, Nick Fuentes has essentially been turning on most of his fans. Nick
Hmm.
Fuentes has a new grift, which is now he's just going out saying he's literally talking about how Epstein is a cool guy, and he's like doing
Wow.
now he's like pro Epstein, which is interesting.
Whoa. Okay, because the last thing I heard from him was he was telling people to go vote for Democrats.
Yes, because he wants to
S-
punish MAGA.
Yeah. So okay, so I my question about that is like, okay, so we don't really know what his true motivation is. We
Hmm.
just know what he's saying.
Yep.
So if he is no longer, I mean, I guess if he's changing his stance on things,
Here's the
then
thing, though, and to be clear, literally, I think he is either going to go in one of two very different categories, which is either Nazi or anti woke culture grifter.
I think anti-wall culture grifter. Well, I mean, he's definitely a grifter.
He is
Um,
definitely far. He is almost everything he says does align with some version of far right, though.
yeah.
The only thing about it is that there is the distinctive possibility that Nick Fuentes just says really shocking shit to get attention.
Yeah.
There's a distinctive possibility that his Nazism is performative.
So I guess the question is, do we leave him in unknown or do we leave him in anti-war? Because we know for a fact is, I mean, he probably complains about stuff being woke, right?
I'm going to say that maybe we should actually treat him at face value for this moment.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if he is a real Nazi or a fake Nazi.
Okay.
Either way, he is promoting the ideas that Nazis hold.
Yeah.
Even if he apparently likes the worst Jewish person you could possibly randomly like.
So then, okay. This is your world. I'm just, okay. So you're
Well,
gonna
hey,
put him
I'm
in
open
there.
to any argument. I'm just made a series of arguments convincing myself to put him in that section, I
Okay.
guess.
All right. I think
Which
that's
brings
fair.
us to our first Hollywood dropout on the list, Jeremy Boring.
I'm not familiar with Jeremy Boring.
Oh, fun! Now I get to tell you who Jeremy Boring is. So
Okay.
Jeremy Boring runs the Daily Wire with Ben Shapiro, or he did. I think his
Oh,
position there might have
okay.
changed. He may have
Okay.
stepped down from some of his more leadership role to focus on directing his adaptation of the Pendragon cycle,
Uh,
which would be Daily Wire's big Game of Thrones esque show. Except I found out apparently they are licensing it to another streamer while at the same time it is on the Daily Wire, which makes me think that they are hemorrhaging fucking money.
mm, mm. Maybe. Well, Daily Wire's not doing well.
No, it's not. First of all, their subscription always costs too much.
Uh,
Their children's subscription has not really gone anywhere.
uh,
Side note, also, they named the children's streaming service that they do through the Daily Wire Plus. They named it Bent Key, and I'm gonna be 100% real. That is the gayest name for an app I've ever heard.
Bent T,
Bent Key with a K.
Bent Key.
Yes.
That is
Does that does that or does not sound more like an app for married men to cheat on their wives with men?
Bent Key. Yeah, actually, that sounds exactly like what you just said. That is an app for men to cheat with other married men to cheat who are yeah, exactly. What is that called? There's a term for that.
Uh, Down low, maybe. I
Is
could be
that,
using
yeah, download. Yeah, I
I
thought
could
there
be
was a
using
download app.
I could be using outdated terminology there.
Yeah,
Uh,
we don't want to be cringe.
but Jeremy Boring he is a failed Hollywood producer. He directed and starred in the movie Lady Ballers, which
Ah,
is wildly incompetent film.
yeah,
I saw it. I have a review of it. I don't know if you watched it.
I did. I did watch it. Yes. Yeah,
That
yeah.
move that it is a terrible movie, and like its satire is bad because its satire is based on a lie.
Yeah, right-wing satire is just it's yeah.
I mean, like the problem with a lot of right wing comedy is it requires you to believe in this like straw man version of everything liberals have ever done.
Yeah, and it's so bad. It's so bad. Did you see Rob Schneider just bomb at CPAC?
I don't know if it was CPAC, but I did just see. I did just watch two guys reacting to a clip of him like bombing hard. It was probably
Yeah.
the same thing, but
Yeah, it was so bad.
he was like literally starting and abandoning jokes mid joke.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He was like, "Oh, what else can I talk about?"
No,
I'm
that's
not gonna
someone
talk.
we're missing on here.
Yeah, Rob Schneider.
Rob
Yeah,
Schneider. We don't have
yeah,
Rob Schneider on here.
yeah.
Should I make a Rob Schneider picture, or do we just want to guess where he goes?
I think he would go anti-woke culture war grifter.
Yeah, I don't think he's self-aware enough he to be anything else. Plus, he's
No.
very transphobic. Oh, we haven't put Jeremy Boring anywhere yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Put where's boring go?
So I would say that Jeremy Boring is somewhere between fascist and anti-woke culture grifter.
Okay.
Possibly, actually, I'm thinking. I think he is Nazi or fascist adjacent.
Yeah, I kind of I would agree with that based on your description. Yeah.
All right, next is Sargon of Akkad, who I don't
Who?
expect you to know who that is.
No.
He
It
is a
sounds like a character from Star Trek.
yeah, he is a British right-wing YouTuber. Uh,
I just say no more. I dislike him already.
he's like pro Brexit. He's Islamophobic. He's a lot of things. I do believe that he is political enough to be ranked higher than anti-woke culture grifter,
Uh,
even though that is a lot of what he does.
okay.
So I would say he is probably fascist or not or fascist adjacent.
Okay.
You know what? Will be actually I do you know what? I'm going to put him ahead of Jeremy Boring because I do think that I've never actually heard Jeremy Boring say anything politically important. I I think that he is mostly a Christian nationalist grifter. I did not put Christian nationalist as its own category, as I don't know how dedicated every Christian nationalist is.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got Brett Cooper. Are you familiar with Brett Cooper?
Yeah, I've heard the name of Brett Cooper. What do they do?
Brett Cooper is Brett Cooper for a minute was one of the Daily Wire's big gets. Like they really wanted to have her on, and
Oh, I know who this is. Okay. Yeah.
but then like they had a plan to put her in a bunch of their like acting projects, including
Mm-hmm.
their what was going to be their counter version of Snow White, which they never made. But she is in Lady Ballers and she is in their Pendragon show.
Okay.
Side note, she's terrible in Lady Ballers.
Okay. That's unfortunate.
I haven't seen the Pendragon show, but I don't hear great things about her character. Although, in fairness, from what I hear about the writing, it might not entirely be her fault. I will admit, though, that like the issue I have here, though, is that I don't know a lot of her takes outside of culture war grift.
Okay.
Like that's the thing about the Daily Wire is that a lot of what they do is culture war grift.
Yeah.
But like it's very clear that they are at the same time more political than like your average YouTube grifter.
Right.
And they also are like funded by big oil and fracking billionaires.
Yes. Yeah.
Um so like I would be tempted to put her in like the same category as Jeremy Boring.
Okay.
In fact, I'm going to put her above Jeremy Boring. Specifically, oh, not above Sargon. Just because oh, what the fuck is it doing? Okay, there we go. I'm
Yeah,
gonna put
there
her
you go.
above Jeremy Boring because anyone who mysteriously leaves the Daily Wire, probably a Nazi. So it's like that's the only right wing thing you can be that gets you kicked out of the Daily Wire.
Yeah, yeah. Candace Owens.
No, exactly. I,
Yeah.
I don't know that I don't know that Brett Cooper's a Nazi, but because there's this distinctive possibility that's what happened, I'm putting her above Jeremy Boring.
Gotcha.
Now here comes a favorite punching bag of mine that I haven't talked about in a long time.
I think he's on death's doorstep, man. Jordan Peterson, I don't think he's been putting stuff out.
I mean, like he has a channel still, but like you're right, he has lost most of his relevance. He still works for the Daily Wire, as far as I know. Oh,
Yeah.
unrelated side note.
I haven't seen anything from him in like a year. Like since Trump got reelected, I really haven't seen anything from him.
Maybe I'll have to check in on him or something. But
I
just real
don't know
quick,
if I'm telling you, I don't think he's putting stuff out there. I think Jordan Peterson is seriously ill.
he might be. The thing about Jordan Peterson, though, is where is he politically? Which
I
is
mean,
what
I
we're
think he's definitely anti-woke culture war grifter.
on a certain level. I think that's accurate. However, Jordan Peterson has additional political things that make him come off really sus, like really suspect. For starters, he does use Nazi dog whistles.
Okay.
But like, if there were anyone I was going to believe was unaware he was using Nazi dog whistles, it might be Jordan Peterson.
I think you're being gracious, dude. I think that guy knows what he says.
So I'll just say what the big one is. The big one that he always says is that he has a real hard on for calling out the postmodern Marxists from
Yes.
the
Yeah.
Frankfurt School. And the thing
Yeah.
is that everything about postmodern Marxism is a Nazi dog whistle. That was a thing. That was a thing that was originally specifically connected to the Jews in Nazi propaganda.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
almost it's almost like a way to say the Jews without saying the Jews.
Right. Right. But and it's connecting on an economic
Mhm.
level.
Yeah.
It's connecting it's not necessarily saying this stuff like on a social level. You know what I
Well, he is
mean?
talking on a social level too, because
Oh,
he did.
you know what? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and that's the other thing that kind of is like like confusing about it when he calls like people Marxists.
Yeah.
It's like Marx he'll use Marxist feminists in the same sentence. I'm like
Yeah.
those are those are like two separate
Mhm.
beliefs. Like I guess you could categorize somebody as a Marxist feminist, but
Mhm.
like it's he uses it as a very big brush to
Mhm.
just sort of overgeneralize people.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And like the other thing, like the other thing is that the thing you have to remember is that he is not someone who comes across as very radical, which is actually
No.
the thing that makes him dangerous.
No, because he comes off with a bunch of his rhetoric is just wrapped in gobbledygook.
Oh wait, the most recent thing he got noticed for was last year. He did the one of the Jubilee surrounded debates, and it was a
Uh-huh.
disaster because he's a fake Christian.
Yes, he won't admit that he doesn't believe in God because he'll take it back to like, well, that all depends on what you mean by the word believe. And
Yeah,
and he gets into arguments like that, which like
which is sophist, which is completely sophist argumentation.
you're when you take an argument down to okay a semantics thing, then it's like well now we're arguing about the meanings of words and we're not arguing about the thing that we're trying to like the subject matter that we're arguing about, which like I'm all for semantics debates
Mhm.
about stuff, like I don't mind those sort of debates, but like that's not what the purpose of the debate is,
Yeah,
and it derails from like us
yeah.
getting to it like we're
He will
we're
knock
using
you.
these terms in a general way that we have all sort of come to agree that this is what the meaning of the word is,
Yeah,
you know.
he will
And
not have a good
yeah,
faith debate with you. I've
no,
seen his
no.
debates, and his argumentation is dog shit.
So do you think maybe yeah, like yeah, exactly. And I think there might have been a time like during Trump, like pre-COVID, where
Mhm.
he was saying some things that I thought kind of made sense. Like I think he was on Bill Maher one time, and I felt like he made a good point where he was like, "What is going to happen after Trump leaves office and the rest of the American people have to assimilate all of the Trump supporters, and how do we get along?" I'm like, that's kind of a fair question to ask.
It
Um,
is a fair question, but it is a question that he is also biased in the asking of.
yeah. Well, I don't know if he supported Trump.
I mean, like, actually, a good question is whether or not he can vote. I don't know if he's an American citizen,
Yeah, he's Canadian.
but he has been on the same bandwagon with people that do. He has actively talked. He's a big guy who likes to talk to people who get canceled. Like he talked to Matt Rife last. I think it was either last year or the year before
Yeah,
when Matt Rife got canceled.
yeah.
Uh,
And the other thing, he has criticized Trump in the past, and like he called Trump like basically like he says, well, if you look at what Donald Trump does, he acts like a 13-year-old bully. So like, if he really truly means what he's saying, taking Jordan Peterson at face value, how could you vote for somebody like that if you truly think that that person is a 13-year-old bully?
mhm. But like I said, I don't know if he's an American citizen, so he might not even
Right.
vote.
He might not even, but I mean, he could not vote for Trump and still support Trump.
That's fair. Now, it is worth noting that he is a hierarchist.
Yeah.
He is heavily invested in hierarchy, which gives him, which when you're invested in hierarchy, that gives you a lot of right wing points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because hierarchy is like essentially the thing with being right wing.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm I am currently thinking that he is at the bare minimum right here.
Nazi fascist adjacent.
Yeah, at bare
Okay.
minimum.
Okay.
He is
That's a
not
fair.
he is not as direct or open enough for us to really fully analyze him. But like I said, the Frankfurt postmodern Marxist thing is weird. The fact that when he was on that Jubilee debate, someone asked him if he would lie to the Nazis to protect a Jew in his attic, and he was like, "I would never put myself in that position." And it's like, why is that, Jordan? Would you not put yourself in that position because you would never protect the Jews? Like,
Right.
what are you saying, Jordan?
Oh God, I hate. I wouldn't put myself in that position. That's not the question.
No, it's not. Because the thing is, he realized it. And, like, the question is it because he wouldn't protect the Jews, or is it because he knows if he admits that you can lie for good, his entire argument that he built
It
around lying
falls
being.
apart.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Which is like such a dumb stance to have because, like, I mean, philosophers throughout history, and I can't remember if it was like Plato or Aristotle said that like sometimes it like if your intention behind the lie is not to hurt somebody, like telling somebody a little white lie like, "Oh, you look good in that," when they don't look good, like what is it, it's inconsequential to
Mhm.
that, like if the intention is not to harm, then the lie, the act of the lying is actually not a bad thing. So
And also, like, the thing is that, like, the question about Jewish people in your attic really does validate the idea that you can lie for a good thing.
you can lie for a good cause, right? Exactly.
It just does it rely on a situation where someone else has evil intentions against you or others? Yes, it does. But that doesn't mean that lying as a defense mechanism can't have a moral purpose.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
All right. So now that we've wait, now we've placed Jordan Peterson in adjacent. Let's see.
Okay.
Brings us to the world's most undeserving martyr, Charlie Kirk.
Oh man.
I
People.
realize there's actually technically two ways to interpret the sentence I just said there, but I made
How
it into
so?
well when I say most undeserving martyr, you could interpret that as someone who is least deserving of martyr status, or you could interpret that as someone who did not deserve to be killed.
Mm.
Um, I mean it mostly as the undeserving of the title.
Yeah.
Although someone should not have shot him. I'll
No.
say that now. Partly
No.
because making him a martyr is the dumbest martyr ever. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
fun thing. Did you hear the one of the key points that Tyler Robinson's defense just made in court was that the bullet that was recovered does not match his rifle?
I don't know if they've conclusively said that it doesn't match the rifle, but they're saying that they're having a hard time matching it. So that's the last that I heard. This was maybe yesterday or the day before.
It's still it.
So there might be news that I'm not hearing.
I mean, I think I heard about the same time. The point is that's what the defense is trying to use currently.
I think he was killed. I think the CIA or somebody, the FBI, somebody killed him, a government organization, or it was a hired hit. Maybe his wife had him killed. I don't know. But
His
like,
wife, his wife is connected to Jeffrey Epstein.
yeah, she was in one of his beauty pageants, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And Donald Trump.
she used to work for them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's a whole bunch of weird. Like the string that's connecting like a lot of this stuff is very, very strange.
It's if there was anyone who we think the Trump administration might have killed to make a martyr, Charlie Kirk would be a good bet. Now, here's the question though: what are Kirk's politics? I would say that he is bare minimum a fascist.
I'd say so too. I don't know if he was um a Nazi propagandist.
He
I don't
did.
know if any of his rhetoric was anti-Jewish.
That's a great question. I do not. I'm not aware of him ever saying anything anti-Jewish. It is
Yeah.
worth noting that he was one of the people pushing the replacement theory.
Yes.
But as we've
Yeah.
already discussed, there seems to be a not quite as anti-Semitic version of that theory going around currently.
Hmm.
To be fair, that has more to do with them trying to get it to stick to Democrats than
Yeah.
anything else. But
And I think yeah, yeah, but I'm sorry, you were gonna say.
no, no, I forget what I was going to say. The point is that he definitely goes in fascist.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe, yeah, no, I'll keep Steve Bannon ahead of him.
Okay. Yeah.
Steve Bannon had a little bit more effort.
One of the things that they're saying about Charlie Kirk is that he was starting to change his position on Israel's war against Palestine.
In
Um,
fairness, the person saying that though is Candace Owens.
uh, I don't know who to believe anymore.
Yeah,
I, but also Candace Owens was kind of like sort of saying this is a conspiracy from the beginning.
yeah. Candace Owens has been claiming that this is a conspiracy from the beginning.
Hmm.
So are a handful. There are some other right wing commentators that have been saying it also.
Yeah,
Most of those commentators are Nazis.
which is, but I mean, does that necessarily mean they're wrong?
It doesn't necessarily mean they're wrong, but it is worth noting that because Charlie Kirk is dead, now every right wing angle is now applicable to him based on the narrative the right winger wants to portray, which is the dangerous thing about a martyr.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
now, because now, like the Christian nationalists can hold him up and be like, "Our boy was always supporting Jesus," and
Yeah,
Candace Owens can hold him up and be like, "Oh, he was going to turn on Israel, y'all."
yeah.
Like
Mm.
now that there's nothing he can say, he can represent whatever they want.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked.
That's a really fucking good point. Yeah. Man,
Now
people lost their mind when he got shot. It was
they did,
it was
and
a
it's
weird.
crazy. It's crazy because he's kind of a joke. Like he started off as like this big guy trying to be all like
He goes
debating
to
people.
college campuses and debates
Yeah,
18-year-olds. Like what?
because the last time he debated, because here's the thing that happened is he was originally open to debating a lot of people, but then he got fucking humiliated in a viral clip where a literal improv comedian tricked him into saying that a dolphin fetus was a human baby.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I've seen that. make the rounds.
So he got destroyed by an improv comedian, and then and then stopped having serious debates. Although
He got
he did do a
he did
Jubilee.
a Jubilee. I think he got embarrassed at Jubilee too.
Oh,
Um,
probably.
he got really embarrassed. I think he tried to debate what I don't know if it was MIT. It might have been Cambridge students. There was like
Oh yeah.
students over in England.
Oh, I've seen
Like,
some of that.
yeah, they kind of dog walked him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's
So
not actually smart or educated.
and honestly, like for a lot of these people, I mean, I think Bannon is a true believer. I think Tucker Carlson's a true believer. Some of these people on this list that I feel like they don't really believe the
Mm.
values they espouse, and I really think that they're saying it like because they're playing a character.
Yeah.
And I think Charlie Kirk was playing a character. I also think, and I have nothing to base this off of, I think Charlie Kirk might have been gay.
I mean, he does have kind of gay vibes.
I I have really nothing to base that off of other than he's
I mean,
yeah. Like honestly, even no, I really don't have anything to base that off of. I just
Nick
think he might have
Fuentes
been
is
gay.
Nick Fuentes is probably gay.
I think he is. I think Nick Fuentes is gay. Yeah, there's been
But
some stuff where it has come out that like he almost kind of admitted to it in an interview.
now we now come to our first a little bit more lighthearted pick,
Dave Rubin.
Dave Ruben.
Guys, this is what President Donald Trump knows exactly what he's doing in Iran, and we should just trust him that he's doing the right thing. Donald Trump said that this won't be a forever war. It's only been going on for 32 days, so it hasn't been a forever war.
Dave Rubin is quite possibly the stupidest person, one of the stupidest
He's,
people on this list.
he is
He is
such an idiot. So
he's
like
not smart and
he's
he's
not
not quick.
useful though.
I mean, like that is the thing. He's not useful. He does not do good content.
Although is he useful in a way of just like people on the left being like, will you look at this idiot on the right?
Well,
And
I mean,
he's useful in that way.
the thing is that like his real value to the right is that he comes off as center right.
Yeah.
But I do think he's too much of an idiot to not put him in useful idiot.
He's so stupid.
Because Dave Rubin is an idiot. He
He's
does not understand He does not understand a lot of things.
no.
He clearly does not.
He
Like,
hasn't connected the dots. He's like that like a lot of the people that he supports in this conservative government, they don't want him to be married and to have I think he
yeah,
has kids.
yeah, no, they have. I'm pretty sure he does. Like, this is the
Yeah.
thing: is that like he is safely in the anti-woke grifter to useful idiot range, like
Yeah.
hands down.
Yeah.
Like that's where he is,
Yeah.
no doubt,
Yeah.
somewhere in one of these three. But I do think that he's a big enough idiot to be our first useful idiot. He is arguably politically the most center right of any of these people,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I do think we should put him in useful idiot. Although you're right, he's not useful.
But I mean,
Like his
how do
relevancy.
you define a right-wing useful idiot? I was very curious about that from the beginning. Like who's gonna fall into this?
So, like, you know what? This is. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, shit. Is he still on here, or do I have to get his image, or do I have to re upload his image? Oh, I don't know if it. I think there's somebody on here. It did not. Oh, there's a few people on here it didn't save, who I added.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I can re add them really easily.
Okay.
One of them I will probably leave to the end.
Okay.
Just because we can't end on John Doyle, for God's sakes. Uh, this is the definition
Oh,
of a
Joe
useful
Rogan.
idiot.
Ah, yes.
Joe Rogan is the definition of a
He should be.
useful.
Yeah, you got to put him in front of Dave Rubin.
Actually, I've thought about it, and I am going to move Dave Rubin to center right.
Okay.
He is an idiot, but he is not useful. He is just center right. He is not relevant enough to. Although he was dumb enough to take the Russian money. Oh, it's so. I'm putting it back.
Edward Gregorian.
I'm putting him back. Okay, I'm putting him behind Joe Rogan. as useful idiot because Joe Rogan is both. Joe Rogan is actually less of an idiot than Dave Rubin, but he's still an idiot, and he is also useful.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's where. So there's just your idea of what a useful idiot looks like. It's Joe Rogan. All right,
I
we'll
feel
go through
like Joe
some.
Rogan. I feel like Joe Rogan's getting paid off by somebody.
Yeah, probably Peter Thiel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The second he joined Spotify, he was compromised, and no one thought about it.
No, but I mean, Spotify is one thing, but
I mean,
it's other people.
Peter Thiel is probably connected to his Spotify deal.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Which oh, that's another person who's missing from here that I need to re-add is Peter Thiel. But
Peter Thiel is not really a political commentator.
he's not a political commentator, but he is a political figure. He's one of the most influential political figures currently. And when I
Yeah.
re-add him, I will go into detail.
Okay.
But
Who's that guy? Who's
this
that
is the
guy?
critical drinker, and I don't need, and like he's obviously here.
Okay. I
Um,
don't know who that is.
so the critical drinker is actually the critical drinker is actually more famous than both of these people. The critical drinker is a movie critic on YouTube, and he
Yeah,
is
yeah.
100%. Yeah, I use air quotes because if you actually go to his channel, you'll notice that like he does not actually frequently post actual reviews.
What does he critique then?
Mostly just complaints about woke politics in movies.
So
Mostly,
it's a critique of sorts, but it's he's not actually looking at the film. He's just picking apart the politics of the film.
except that like here's the thing you have to understand about all these people. They do not actually understand what woke means. They do not actually understand how to criticize something for being woke. They would not know what woke looked like if woke was fucking their whole family.
Yeah.
Their woke analysis that they do is dog shit and is entirely based on if minorities appear in a movie or someone uses pronouns.
Yeah.
The thing is that those things are not woke inherently. Those things are politically correct, if anything.
Yeah. Well, woke has sort of taken the place of politically correct
Yeah, by people
in where
who
we
want to
are right now.
use, by people on the right who want to rob the words of real meaning and just use them as umbrella terms for everything that you should hate.
Yeah.
But he's definitely an anti-woke grifter, and honestly, there's not much more he really need to say about him other than that he's dog shit at the one thing he claims to be doing for a living. Which brings us to another anti-woke grifter, the quartering, who actually I'm going to put over here because even though he's been around for longer than a lot of these guys, he is pathetic. His real name's like Jeremy. He makes the same type of woke anti-woke culture slop that these guys do.
Hmm.
And he's also an alcoholic who is most famous on the internet for peeing in the drain in his basement.
You can get famous for that?
Yeah.
Man, what are we doing with our lives, Ruben?
Well, we're
If
not
it's
live
that
stream.
simple.
Well, I mean, maybe I should live stream myself drunk while playing video games. Maybe I should do that. But that brings us to Steven Crowder,
Oh, dude. Louder
An-
with Crowder.
another failed Hollywood
Failed
person.
Hollywood actor. Yep.
He's a stand-up comedian. Although even some right-wing stand-up comedians say that his stand-up is dog shit. He is honestly most famous outside of politics for being the voice of the brain on Arthur for many years.
Uh,
That's his biggest Hollywood gig he's ever had.
hmm
Hilarious that he now attacks places like PBS, even though PBS gave him the most success of his entire career. But now his main thing is that his big deal also is that he's going through a terrible divorce.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I that was a couple years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that you're right. But like divorced men never really stop going through a divorce.
Yeah. Yeah, that video where he was talking to his wife like that was just
Yeah.
that was ugh, terrible. So,
Oh,
well, I think
he was sexually harassing his staff.
yeah, I heard yeah, that and like this isn't to dismiss it, but the sort of stuff that he was doing when like I think like what would he do? He would like flick people's nuts and like
He'd whip his dick out.
he would yeah, whip his dick out like that is that is typical locker room behavior.
Mhm.
And I'm not dismissing it. Um, I'm just saying that, like, if you don't, like, if you haven't come across that before, that's what typically guys in locker rooms do. Like, that's sort of juvenile sort of shit that people would do.
I think
Um,
he's one of these people who's still like
but
in
you don't,
frat boy mode.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's exactly what that is. It's frat boy mode. It's immature frat boy shit. And like, I mean, that type of behavior really shouldn't be acceptable anywhere, but like in the workplace, like, come on.
Now the question is, where do we put him?
I I think he's at least a fascist.
You know what? I would go with fascist. Because like the thing is that even though he mostly does what these guys do these days,
Uh-huh.
he is definitely more racist. And I'm not
Yeah,
saying these guys aren't racist in the anti woke section. I'm saying that he is definitely more racist.
he is very racist. I just don't
I
know if he crosses the line in a Nazi.
I honestly don't know either. If
Yeah.
you think he should be in the Nazi category, leave a comment.
Oof. Let us know.
Okay.
This is a floating list. Like this is not set in
Yeah.
stone. Like this we could change it. We could change it.
Yeah, we could
Who's
change
this
it.
next guy? I don't recognize him.
This is Paul Joseph Watson.
What is he about? What's his
He
deal?
used to be connected to Alex Jones.
Okay.
He mostly does, but now he does his own thing on the internet. He's British, and he's almost definitely a Nazi.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, I actually don't have a lot more to say about Paul Joseph Watson, other than that he sucks. Plus, why would we want to waste time when we could be talking about Michael Knowles?
Michael knows another Hollywood dropout.
Yep.
Also very, very I don't know if they're credible sources, but heavily rumored that he's gay.
I
Another
would not be
closeted
surprised. He did
individual.
play
Yeah.
a gay man in a student film
Okay.
that has circulated the internet pretty widely now. Um,
I did not know this that but just speaking of circulating the internet, Ted Cruz was apparently in a production of The Crucible,
of
and I heard it was terrible.
course it was. It had Ted Cruz in it.
Herman Munster. Wait, I wonder who he played. I would actually be interested in seeing that.
I am curious now too. That being said, Michael Knowles,
Michael
I
Knowles?
don't think I would put him in Nazi.
No. I mean, I haven't really heard much of his commentary.
So
Okay, if you say he's fascist, I
he's
was
at
thinking maybe,
least adjacent. I would
okay,
actually put him at the bare minimum. He's above Jordan Peterson.
okay.
Well, maybe he's not. Maybe he's not.
If you
So
think he should be a fascist, then you put him in a
so the thing about
fascist.
Michael Knowles is that he is like mostly a Christian nationalist.
Yeah.
He is one of these Catholics who does not listen to the Pope ever, uh, which is going around these days.
Yeah, it
Uh,
is. It's
Vice
wild
President,
that we actually get a decent pope and like
we
we've had a decent pope now for like 10, 15 years.
two popes in a row have both called out J.D. Vance as a bad Catholic. That's wild.
That yeah.
Two popes in a row.
And let's be clear. It's not because JD Vance is a failed former drag queen and is probably a closeted homosexual. It's that's not why he's a bad Catholic. He's a bad Catholic because he's a spineless asshole
And a warmonger,
and a
which
warmonger.
seems to be what the current pope is saying about him.
Yep.
literally said that the people who start God does not hear the prayers of people who start wars. Let's hear it for the Pope.
Let's seriously, the Pope coming through. He's a
Now,
Chicago guy too. Look at that Midwesterner.
now here's a guy that I would definitely put above Michael Knowles.
He's a yeah, he's a Nazi.
He is probably a Nazi. Probably. And I only say probably because he still works at the Daily Wire, which means that he is hiding it still. But I would be willing to say that he is a Nazi.
There are very few people in the world that, like, if I just ran across them in the street, I would physically attack him. Like, I would be getting arrested.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's his fucking beard or if it's his stupid glasses or his big forehead or just his dumb lips. Like, I just want to, like, I have so much hatred for Matt Walsh. I am sorry.
No, Matt Walsh is fucking the worst.
He is
I would love to fight Matt Walsh. I would destroy him.
just want to punch him in the face.
But like, I don't hate him because of his obnoxious face. I don't hate him because he's clearly someone with ADHD who had a terrible time in school and now takes it out on the concept of education.
Yep.
I hate him because he is a spineless, self-hating, one of the most racist people I can think of.
He is just terrible.
I don't know if you've seen. I was watching someone do a response to his version of Black History, and wow.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah.
Tunche Films is who did the reaction. They're very good. They mostly do like American history stuff. A lot of it's Civil War based. But the point is that Matt Walsh lies his ass off about slavery.
Does he lie or does he believe what he's saying?
That's a good question. Is Matt Walsh a true believer, or does he understand that he's full of shit? The answer is it's hard to tell because Matt Walsh is one of the people on this list who is highly uneducated.
Yeah.
Like, specifically people like who we have up here currently that I know for sure is uneducated. To be fair, probably the YouTubers. But the people that I am immediately thinking of that I know for sure are uneducated are Matt Walsh and Charlie Kirk. Mm-hmm. Or I should say, he was uneducated.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk, college dropout. Matt Walsh, someone who clearly never got the help he needed in high school to like pursue an education. I definitely think that he is a traumatized kid with ADHD.
I think all of these people are traumatized individuals.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a good point. Yeah. They've definitely all got pain going on.
Yeah.
Speaking of losers, Tim Pool is next.
Oh my god, what a fucking loser.
And Tim Pool is somewhere in the useful idiot to Nazi fascist adjacent range.
I see. I would put him in anti-woke culture war grifter, but he's been simping for Trump hardcore.
He identifies as a libertarian, which is interesting because here's the thing. This is the thing about Tim Pool is that Tim Pool might be less educated than Matt Walsh. Tim Pool is a high school dropout who literally considers his time working in a coffee shop talking to college students to be as good of an education as going to college. He is wildly stupid and uninformed.
Yeah. Yes. The two very dangerous things. He's very uninformed. He just speaks off the cuff about things that he really has no business speaking about.
And it's not like when I speak off the cuff about things, because let's be fair, I don't always get everything right, but I do speak off the cuff about a lot of things because my autistic brain retains a lot of fucking information. But Tim Pool is literally a guy who doesn't know anything. And it fucks me up that he has such a fan base.
he's saying the right things, and like if you listen to him talk, he sounds articulate
He does sound articulate. That's fair. But like, if you actually pay attention to the things he's
to
saying, you
what he's
notice at a certain
saying.
point he doesn't actually know anything. Like
Exactly.
a great example is that he went crazy when a bunch of scientists and archaeologists and stuff released a paper saying that women were actually probably hunters in the hunter gatherer phase because of the fact that women have an advantage in long distance running,
Hmm.
and that used to be how you killed animals, was you would run them down
Hmm.
because you could sweat and breathe more effectively. Human beings could run animals to being tired enough to kill them with like a rock or spear easily.
Hmm.
And he, with no knowledge, immediately started calling it bullshit. But the thing is that the theory is sound
Hmm.
because the way women's bodies work is the fact that their female bodies that run on estrogen burn fat and sugar at the same rate. Meanwhile, when you have more testosterone, testosterone causes your body to burn sugar first.
Hmm.
So what happens is that like in long marathon runs or like ultra marathons, I think it's what they're called, women have a good chance of outperforming men because they don't sugar crash in the middle.
Hmm.
Because they can maintain their sugar levels for a longer period of time running, while men will actually run out of sugar. And this will cause them to slow down while their body is switching over to, I forget what they call it when it starts eating your ketones to compensate for lack of
Is
sugar.
it ketosis? It's not
I don't.
ketosis.
It's like ketogenesis or something.
Okay.
Um, I forget the term, but the point
Hmm.
is that like he was so mad at this report, but like even when I was listening to him like debunk it, it was clear that he did not have the base levels of knowledge to understand it. He
Yeah.
tried to use the idea that men prefer skateboarding to women preferring skateboarding as a point of reference, which is another thing that these fucking morons always do. And it's actually a pretty common thing I've noticed from talking to people is that when people don't have a level of understanding of a thing, their brain will just start mapping something they do understand onto it. And that's and if you're not aware of that, you're going to be an idiot.
Well, I yeah, when you start taking your own personal experience and mapping it onto something else,
Mm-hmm.
that's like that's not really the best way of trying to understand how the world works.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've heard this before in different situations, and I'm giving a personal anecdote while talking about this. But I'm giving a personal anecdote by talking about a personal anecdote, but I've heard people say, oh, misogyny can't exist, sexism can't exist because I've never experienced it. Like I've heard women say that. And it's like, just because you have not experienced that doesn't mean that that's not necessarily true.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's actually, honestly, like, I think that's a big problem with right wingers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a big problem with, honestly, with like a lot of Americans.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, the reality of my day is I don't see all of this stuff happening. So like, I don't think it's happening um, because I don't directly experience it. Um, I think that's a big problem that I'm not just thinking that right wingers have. I think that we as all
Oh
Americans
yeah,
have.
no, it's not just right wingers, but
Yeah.
like it does seem to be common on the right wing.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh,
So Tim Pool, anti-woke culture war grifter. Yeah.
or Nazi fascist adjacent. You know what? I'm gonna keep him an anti-woke culture grifter. Why give him any credit at all?
TBD.
I don't know who this guy is.
I don't know who
No,
he is either.
no idea who the fuck he is. Uh,
Looks like some guy that accidentally tweeted or like is like this is a selfie that before I'm going out.
which now brings us to Alex fucking Jones.
Alex Jones has got to be at least a fascist, if not a Nazi.
Like, Alex Jones does not make sense. Honestly, like I say this every time I bring up Alex Jones, but like full disclosure, I used to be a big Alex Jones guy. When I was in college, I would I watched his documentaries. I would go to his web. I would check his websites every day. I cited things from PrisonPlanet.com in some of my fucking school papers. I used to be into this guy.
Hmm.
At a certain point, I realized, though, that he was full of shit.
Yeah.
I also realized I saw him debate Piers Morgan one time, and that was actually the thing that sold me, and I was like, oh shit. Alex Jones's form of rhetoric and the way that he argues clearly shows him to not be all there. Like, clearly shows him to, like, not actually know how to have an argument. He tried really hard not to get Kanye to be an out Nazi. I don't know if he's a Nazi. His politics have been all over the place the entire time that I have paid attention to him.
Yeah.
His politics seem to distinctly change to cater to other people when Barack Obama became president. When George W. Bush was president, he would cater to more liberal fringe thinkers.
Uh-huh.
And then as soon as Barack Obama became president, it flipped on a dime.
Mm-hmm.
So
it makes you wonder if he's just a grifter.
It does make me wonder if he's just a grifter. There is a part of me that thinks that Alex Jones might not have a coherent political philosophy.
But also Alex Jones might have like had a mental break.
That's also fair. Alex Jones also, fun fact, has the same lawyer as the Satanic Temple.
Well, I that
who,
kind
by
of
the
makes
way,
sense
are
because,
also grifters.
that kind of makes sense because don't they? Isn't there a thing like freedom of speech and freedom of religion?
No.
No.
Okay, so they're not on this list, even though their leader has right-wing ties. Fun fact. The Satanic Temple are essentially a grift that has gotten way out of hand.
Okay.
They started off as a guy who was going to make a mockumentary about friendly Satanists. That was the idea. And then, instead, it became a series of seemingly political publicity stunts.
Okay.
And also, the worst pro-choice campaigns ever done. Like, they have lost more pro-choice cases than other pro-choice organizations in court because their arguments are dog shit.
Oh, that's not good.
And other pro-choice organizations have actively warned people against them because they at one point tried to push the idea that if you became an active member of their church, that having an abortion would become protected as part of your religion.
Oh no!
And pro-choice activists have had to come out with strong statements saying that that is not true, and that they are selling you a lie.
Oh my god!
I have actively heard right-wing people trying to debunk, like using their bad arguments in other arguments with other pro-choice people.
Oh my
like
god.
Using them as a weak point as an example of a weak pro-choice argument.
So Alex Jones' lawyers are defended those people in court too. Well, okay.
But the point is that the leader of that organization actually has been tied to right-wing people.
Okay.
Which is interesting because they come off as very left-wing to a lot of people. But Alex Jones is also vicariously tied in some way to them. Alex Jones is also currently tied to a lot of people. He is currently upset with Donald Trump about the war in Iran.
Yeah.
And has been talking on podcasts about, well, first of all, he's had a couple notable weird podcast moments where he first of all,
he was like drunk or something for one of them. I think he went on the PBD podcast maybe a couple of weeks
talking
ago.
About Joe Rogan's big fat vagina. Ironically defending Trump's Iran war. And then he went on another podcast drunk where he started just going on this long tangent about how essentially the neocons have ruined Trump. But he's describing it like Trump is his wife, and he's come home to finding like what's his Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham just like double penetrating his wife.
Like I came
That
home and I found I found Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham giving a spit roast to Donald Trump.
that's almost exactly what he says. Like he just goes on
They're
this.
spit roasting Donald Trump.
It's supposed to be a metaphor. It's like, no, I'm supposed to, and like he even says like, I'm supposed to be in there. I'm supposed to be not them. And it's like, what the fuck is happening? So Alex Jones is losing his mind, and like, you know what? Since he supports Donald Trump, even though his politics seem incoherent as fuck, I am going to put him in fascist because supporting Trump brings you to that point.
I think I agree with that one.
Which brings us to
Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro. The thing is, Ben Shapiro is at least here at Nazi fascist adjacent.
Which like is like on its surface doesn't seem to make sense. But
the thing is that he is a Jewish man who has strong feelings about being Jewish, but he is actively at every turn waking up to find that he is surrounded by Nazis.
yeah.
He is constantly in that position. So which means that he lacks a certain level of awareness of his own political party. I think there's a very real possibility that Ben Shapiro believes in what he's saying and also does not have the self-awareness to understand why it's wrong.
Yes.
And does not understand how close it puts him to actual fascists.
I agree. Yeah.
Who did you think of that we should... Oh, by the way, I did find out that I can search images with Google Lens.
Ah. Ooh.
For example, this gentleman here, who we didn't know who he was, turns out he is Benny Johnson.
Oh, yeah, Benny Johnson. I've heard of him.
I've heard of him, but I don't actually know a lot about him, to be honest.
Yeah, I've seen stuff. I'm trying to think of. I know I've seen videos of people sort of commenting on some of his stuff, and I can't remember like what platform he's on or where you see him at.
And this gentleman, it's weird. Google Lens was working completely different yesterday, and now it's doing a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this gentleman here turns out is Nigel Farage.
Oh,
Which is a
okay.
name I've heard, but I was
Yes.
not familiar with his face.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
I did look, and I also looked up this gentleman here, but I
I'll
still
put my
don't know who this
glasses.
guy is.
Okay.
Because
Nothing's come up.
the only thing that's come up is other people's right-wing grifter. And visual matches for this guy just come up as denim shirts. So I have no idea who he is still.
Okay.
That being said, I actually don't really know if I necessarily know enough about Benny Johnson or Nigel Farage to really put them anywhere.
Yeah, I feel like I should know more about Benny Johnson because I keep hearing about him a lot. Um, the couple of people that I noticed, and I'm just saying about this list, not a critique. This is a very male
You
dominated
know, you're not wrong. To be fair,
list,
I
and there are
did not
a
make.
couple of people that, and I think, well, you have Candace Owens on here,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
another person I thought about that you don't have on here is Megan Kelly.
Oh yeah, we could add Megan Kelly to
We
this.
could add Megan Kelly. And then is it Tommy? Is it Tommy Lorenz?
I know who you're talking about, and I've heard her name pronounced a couple different ways.
Hmm. Tommy, I don't know if it's Tommy Lorenz or she's like a
Oh, here we go.
Tommy Laren. Yeah.
I once again though, I honestly don't know a ton about her.
She was sort of right wing Trump, big Trumper, and I think she actually, when Roe v. Wade got overturned, she spoke out against it. Um, so she I think she kind of got ousted from some right-wing communities because it seemed like she came out in support of abortion.
Okay.
But I would put her like she's
Well, let's.
she's definitely anti-woke culture war grifter, but I don't know if she was I don't know if I'd put her so far as Nazi fascist adjacent. She might actually be kind of center right. But then again, I haven't heard a lot of what she's been saying over the last, I don't know, 2, 3 years. She might have gotten more extreme.
Well, let's finish going through some of these presets.
Okay. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. So we're
So
at Russell. Oh
yeah, I
my
was gonna say the
God.
next person I definitely recognize is Russell Brand.
Yeah, I
I
don't know. He's culture war grifter.
100%.
Yeah, he's doing the whole I found Jesus thing.
Yeah.
No.
Which
And yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, which is the go-to move when you're about to be canceled, especially if you're about to be canceled for sexual assault and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is annoying that Christians are like that.
Yes.
They give too much cover to sexual predators, and it seems like it's a trend. Also, full disclosure, yes, audience, we're wearing different shirts.
I'm not
Oh, you're
actually.
not?
I put on the same shirt for continuity.
I should have been clever. But but I think Russell Brand is an easy one. I was super disappointed by Russell Brand because I used to enjoy some of his stand-up specials.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he is. If everything in the reports are true, he is a monster.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I also don't know who this gentleman with the sun. I looked up who this gentleman with the sunglasses is. I thought it was honestly. I thought this might have been Logan Paul, but it is apparently not Logan Paul.
I it
It's
looks like oh God, what's his name? It looks like Don Jr. is in, or I'm sorry, Eric Trump is in like witness
this
protection or
is
something like that.
this gentleman apparently is called Baked Alaska. He is, I believe, he's a right wing streamer and Twitter guy.
What a
Uh,
name.
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty honestly, I'm not really confident judging him, but I'm
If
what
if
I've
he's no,
what
go
I've
ahead.
heard is that he is probably a Nazi. But I'm gonna leave him an unknown for right now because I genuinely just don't know enough about him.
I feel like if you have a name like Baked Alaska and you're not like just like a libertarian that just really wants the federal legalization of marijuana, like then that's just a
Waste of a name.
poor nickname.
It's a waste
Yeah.
of a name.
It's a waste of a name.
Yeah. So
Baked
that brings us
Alaska.
to Tom McDonald here.
I don't know who Tom McDonald
Oh,
is.
you don't know who this gentleman is?
No, no.
He is a MAGA rapper.
All right.
He he had made a music video with Ben Shapiro,
Uh-huh.
and he made a music video with Roseanne.
Oh, well, there you go.
The thing about Tom McDonald is that his politics don't seem coherent. His music and songs seems to focus mostly on the concept of upsetting liberals,
Hmm.
and just like attacking them. He's big on anti-trans stuff. He seems to be pro-Christian nationalism. I would say that like he is a woke grifter, but there is a part of me that wants to bump him up to adjacent.
Okay.
Just just because like he's a little too involved.
Okay. Yeah.
I
You
also
know, there almost needs to be a category for all over the place.
yeah. I mean that's probably fair. Let's see here. I don't know who this guy is. Let's find out who this guy is.
It's weird because okay, who's that guy?
Uh
Synthetic Man.
Synthetic man, grotesque grifting goblin clown forever thirsting for attention is what the first article says.
Okay.
So, he looks like he's just another grifter.
Gotcha.
I don't really know anything about him, so I'm going to leave him an unknown. I'm not going to give him the dignity of being ranked.
There you go.
But I do know these gentlemen.
Yes.
Fresh and fit. I
Yes.
know that the taller gentleman's name is Myron.
I've seen some of their stuff.
Yeah.
It's yeah. It
And
sounds like they're kind of like they're also kind of in the brosphere or
mhm.
the manosphere or whatever.
The thing about these guys is that on a certain level, they definitely qualify as anti woke culture war grifters.
Mm-hmm.
Their big things are that they hate women, they
Mm-hmm.
hate wokeness,
Mm-hmm.
they're red pill dudes selling red pill shit.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also kind of Nazis.
Okay.
they're also kind of Nazis.
Um, I was going through my feed today, and somebody, interestingly enough, had a post about why Charlie Kirk is a Nazi.
Really?
And they said not only did they like the sort of the things that we were talking about yesterday, but also any sort of ethnic, I don't want to call it ethnic cleansing, but any sort of like anybody who holds the position that we need to get rid of these people and we need to like either kill them or ship them off to a foreign country, that also qualifies them as being a Nazi.
Okay.
So I don't know if those guys hold that view. And the one I never heard Charlie Kirk say anything about wanting to ship people out of this country. I mean, he may have. I don't know.
We'll keep him in fascist for right now.
Okay. Okay.
But that does bring us to another complex choice, which is where we putting Dennis Prager.
Dennis Prager is, oh my God. I would say he's at least a fascist.
Yeah, I actually would call Dennis Prager a fascist.
Yeah.
He's like Ben Shapiro on steroids.
Yeah.
Is how I would describe Dennis Prager, because at least I'm not aware of Ben Shapiro ever writing an article about why it's okay to rape your wife,
Oh God.
which is something that Dennis Prager has done.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, Dennis Prager is fucking disgusting. But he's also part of the same propaganda network as Ben Shapiro. I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
he's not part of the Daily Wire. He's got his own deal at Prager University, which naming your YouTube channel a university is like what are we doing here, man?
It's very it's yeah. I don't know. It's yeah. It's well, and I think with a lot of these people, and going back to what you were talking about with Matt Walsh and some of these other people who education just might have failed them, and they might have some bitterness, some pain inside that they haven't quite fully processed yet. I think a lot of these people just don't like colleges and universities. They don't like professors challenging them to critically think. And I mean, I could say this as somebody who is in academia. There is a leftward bend in college in academia. It also depends on the departments that you're in,
It does
because
depend on the
in
departments, and
in
it
the in
depends
the
on the
in the
teachers.
business department, you don't really find too many. You find some people who are like just sort of generally center, like moderates,
Yeah,
and you'll
center
find
left.
some more kids. But dude, I had a history professor when I was an undergrad. And this was post 9/11, like I think right leading up to the war in Iraq. I mean, he was just firmly, it's like listening to Rush Limbaugh, like just hearing all of the stuff that he was talking about, which also is another person that we don't have on here.
Oh, you're right. We don't have Rush Limbaugh on here. I mean, he hella dead,
Yeah.
and he doesn't quite have. Well, maybe he does have some relevancy. Maybe we'll add
I,
him. But
I think he played a significant part in getting sort of the right wing into the AM radio waves.
oh, for sure.
And I think there've been a lot of people who are following his lead. I mean, a lot of these people are online, they're not necessarily on AM radio, but I think he sort of trailblazed something. So yeah.
So apparently, this weird flag thing here with the hand is someone called Despot of Antrim. Not familiar.
Okay.
Uh, and then we got.
That it reminds me of a Hand of Fate from that there's a Batman the Animated Series episode with the Riddler, and there was a hand of fate. Batman was in a maze, and he had to find his way out. But anyways, sorry.
Now this cartoon feller here is apparently someone named Grums, which
Okay.
is a name I'm vaguely familiar with, but
Hmm.
I don't know it. But I would need to, honestly I would need to know more about them. But they are a big. I
Gotcha.
know they're an anti woke grifter. I
Gotcha.
know they hate women. You know what? I actually do feel confident putting him up here, even though I don't actually know that much about him.
Okay.
All right, and then that brings us to this gentleman who looks like a really strung out Sebastian Stan. Like he looks like Sebastian Stan before they force him into rehab and take a box of donuts out of his crack fueled hands. Uh, but apparently this dude's a big anti-vaxxer.
Oh God. All right.
Based on what I've found about him.
Yeah.
His name is Wakefield, apparently.
He looks like, I
Andrew
mean,
Andrew Wakefield.
the Andrew Wakefield. I've heard of this guy. Yeah.
He's a
Yeah, look at this guy. More like Remfield.
he looks like a doctor you would not trust with your health
No.
because apparently he's a doctor.
He looks like he should have been next door. Have you ever seen that movie, The Burbs? He looks like those creepy next door neighbors, that movie with Tom Hanks.
I have actually not seen The Burbs.
Oh, okay. It's
But
a weird dark comedy from like the late 80s, early 90s that doesn't really get done anymore, but I think it kind of holds up.
I don't know enough about this gentleman
Yeah, I mean, me neither.
to put him anywhere. But I did want to look up who he was, specifically because he looks like strung out Sebastian Stan, which is how I will think of him. I
Um,
do know this person. I want to make sure they are who I think they are, though.
Blair White.
Blair White. Okay, yeah, no. This is our first trans person on the
Ah,
list. Um, and I don't really feel confident placing her because I knew who she was. I know who she is, but she's also someone I don't pay any attention to.
hmm
Um,
hmm
she's at least a culture war grifter.
I mean, at least being somebody who's trans and is also on this list.
You know what? I do feel comfortable putting her here. She might actually be worse than that,
Mm,
but I don't know for sure. But I
hmm
do know where this next person belongs.
Who's that?
This cartoon here.
Yeah.
This is a guy. This is the profile picture of a guy who goes by Stone Toss,
Okay.
and he's a straight up Nazi.
Mm.
He might out Nazi these people.
Oh my God.
He has been anonymous for years. His real face was recently revealed, but he basically just makes internet cartoons
Uh-huh.
that are Nazi dog whistles.
Oh
Like
my God.
straight up. That's
Jesus.
what that guy is.
Ugh.
Which brings us to another person that I'm familiar with, and actually, I didn't. Whoever made this list originally must be very YouTube brained because I don't think this person has any real relevance.
Mm.
This is Jester Bell. She is she honestly she's just one of these. She's just a
Okay.
culture woke grift. She's just a woke culture grifter who complains about how movies aren't good anymore,
hmm
and she's her level. The thing about a lot of these culture war grifters is that they are actually really fucking dog shit at any type of media analysis. They can't do it. They
No.
just can't.
They don't really have an understand. They have very little understanding of art. They have very little understanding
Mm-hmm.
of like story development
Yeah.
and creative intention and like just like metaphor like of metaphors. Of like what is the story really trying to say? What does this piece of art
Yeah.
really try to say? They tend to take things literally.
Yeah.
And
In
they have
fairness
like
to them,
right. Oh, go ahead.
in fairness to them, as an autistic person, I used to take media very literally, and then I think when I was about 15, I saw The Matrix, and it blew my fucking mind open. And then
Yeah.
suddenly I had this idea of like, oh my god, symbolism! It like
Yeah.
unlocked the concept of symbolism in my brain, so now I can recognize symbolism in movies, which is
Hmm.
weird because I don't always pick up on basic implication in human interaction.
Well, that's fine. And like, not everybody's perfect at it. There are things that I miss too, that like people have to explain to me. That's why it's like, it's always good to be curious about things and realize that you don't always know everything. That's the other thing too, is a lot of these people come off as experts on things.
And they are very incurious.
Yes, very incurious.
But this next person might be the saddest of all the anti woke culture grifters. This child, this child YouTuber whose father also makes YouTube videos. They are both anti woke grifters. This
Who's
chi-
who,
this child is known as Ranting for Vengeance,
okay.
and despite being very androgynous,
Uh-huh.
they are a hardline anti woke grifter,
Uh-huh.
and they are actually probably the worst at critical analysis of any of these people. Like, literally, every one of his videos is basically just, here's a piece of media I like. Now I'm going to tell you how all the other ones are woke and gay. Like, literally, watching his video, he has more of an Irish accent, but I did it like a weird Cockney for him. But, like, literally, all of his videos are him just taking something that's normally, comic books or movies he has not even seen. Like, that's a
Mm,
big thing with a lot of anti-woke grifters, is they start forming narratives the second the trailer for a movie drops. As soon as
mm,
the trailer comes out, they are making up their mind on if it is woke trash or not.
mm.
And they do this for movies, video games, and Ranting for Vengeance also does comic books. Ranting for Vengeance recently got a huge amount of pushback on the fact that he made a video about where he called Absolute Batman gay and uh,
Jesus.
and the thing about it is, side note, that is the limitations of his entire commentary. By the way, like literally, he just points at things and says, "What is this gay and?" And that's the whole thing. That's the extent of it. It's gay plus slur. That's it. Like
And
he has literally nothing else.
and people follow this guy?
He has 27,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Subscribers?
Well, on YouTube, subscribers doesn't mean you pay any money.
Oh,
You have to be a
okay.
member to pay money. I don't know who he has a fucking Patreon too. But like, yeah, he is
I mean, 27,000
surprisingly
is
successful.
is is I mean,
I mean, it's not the biggest channel, but it's way more than I have.
it's way more than any of us
Like,
have
that's enough to
combined.
monetize.
Yeah.
That's enough to monetize.
Well, I think if you say things, well, I don't know. But doing that is it's reactionary,
Oh yeah,
right?
no, he's 100% reactionary.
So
There,
like it makes sense that it makes sense. Like I don't want to say it's right, but it makes sense that he like they
the,
express that opinion.
yeah, the thing about this kid that makes it extra sad is that there's a lot of people online who believe that his father is probably forcing him to make these videos.
Oh, that's
There was an
terrible.
extended period of time where he was using a really dark lighting setup, and people were
Oh,
pretty confident he had a black eye.
oh God.
This is a literal child, and the fact that this is where he is like setting himself up in society is sad.
That's
It
really
is
sad.
deeply sad.
The internet is a terrible place.
It is. But let's see here. I looked up who this guy was. He does have a hell of a beard. This guy, what I do know is that from the articles I saw that popped up originally, this gentleman, oh, this is Tommy Robinson.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
How a racist lies and misinformations are being weaponized by far right to target black and brown people.
Okay,
Um,
well, I think automatically right there, that kind of puts him in fascist at least.
yep. And Tommy Robinson now claims he found Jesus in prison. You know what? He went to prison, so we're gonna bump him. We're gonna bump him up a little bit over some of these other fascists
There you go.
because that makes it sound like he's more effective than some of them.
Hmm.
I will say I'll keep him below Charlie Kirk just because Charlie Kirk is definitely more well known than him.
Hmm.
But that's the extent of what I know about him. This next one here, I know a little bit about. I'm not sure of his total politics, but this guy here is called Andy Pants Gaming.
Okay.
And he's another culture war woke grifter. The deal with this guy, though, the reason that a lot of people have called him out on his bullshit is because he made a video game that contained like a secret room you could go to and see AI child porn
Oh God.
based on his own daughter.
Are you serious?
That is what that yes, that is yes.
That's vile.
It is vile.
Oh my God.
What his actual politics are, I am not 100% certain, but I do know that he is disgusting and that he is definitely a culture war grifter.
Oh my God. That is disgusting.
Yeah. And that brings us to this gentleman who actually, I kept mistaking this guy for another guy, but let me remind myself who this
He's
is.
got that look, you know?
He looks kind of like Rampage Jackson, but I know it's not Rampage Jackson. Oh no, I do know. This is Eric July. I know who Eric
Okay.
July is. Eric July is an interesting one to be on here
Hmm.
because the area of like media that he operates in is comic books.
Uh-huh.
This guy is a comic book writer. He is a anti woke grifter.
Mm.
He created something called the Ripaverse, which is just his own anti woke comic book line.
I think I've heard of that before.
Oh, you probably have.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he is a grifter, just
Mm.
trying to sell anti woke comic books.
Mm.
Which brings us to another anti woke grifter. This is what is his name? Babyface heel versus Babyface or something.
I don't know. He
This
he
guy,
looks he looks like a WWE wrestler.
this guy, he is not in that kind of shape.
Uh-huh.
But this guy is most famous. Oh, it's heel versus Babyface. He is most famous because he made a YouTube video where he freaked out about the character creation custom options in the video game Starfield,
Uh-huh.
which is a sci-fi uh, open world RPG that takes place in the future in outer space.
Mm.
And he got fucking livid about the fact that you could choose non-binary pronouns
Oh God.
in the thing, and he like freaked out about it. He made a huge video, and most of the internet made fun of him, as
Okay.
they rightfully should have. It is like the extent of his relevancy, as far as I can tell.
Hmm.
But yeah, he's just another anti-woke grifter who had a freak out about non-binary pronouns. He kept, and like the sentence he said was that they keep current daying us. I keep using the same British accent for all the British people. But
It's sort of vaguely it's like vaguely British somewhere, yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
like the thing about this guy is that like he kept complaining in his video that I actually do have a video on this guy.
Mm.
Um but
Oh.
uh, but his big deal was essentially he kept claiming that they were current daying us by bringing up non-binary people. It like takes him out of the reality and reminds him of the current day. But like the thing is that gender will probably only get weirder as we meet aliens, first of all. And second of
All right, you
all,
can't you just drop that.
like all contemporary fiction is doing a certain level of current daying you. Like
Yeah.
like
It
like the
it
language for starters is different. Like is he going to complain that everyone in Star Wars has a British accent in the Empire? Like
it's that and that's the thing, man. And like fucking I hear this all the time when people complain about like certain things like period pieces especially. It's like, well, there's always some sort of like modernization that they always try to do, and like it's like it's really hard not to, you know, even with the clothing. Like if you wanted to get like if you look at like some of the clothing that some of the people wear like in period pieces, like you can just tell by the stitching that it's not authentic. This is why it's a story and it's not a museum historical piece. Like
yeah,
it's yeah, it's but people don't understand that. Oh, I
Yeah,
want the authentic, real thing. It's like,
yeah,
this is a story.
and like it would blow this guy's mind if I started talking to him about like medieval gender concepts.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Which I have no idea what that is.
so like I'll just give you a couple. That's an example here. Like,
Okay.
is it gonna would it bother him if he knew that a woman, a maid, a woman, a maiden, and a winch are three separate categories
Okay.
based on like what a female is doing in society?
Hmm.
Like in medieval time, to be a woman meant that you were married and deflowered.
Hmm.
To be
Hmm.
a winch meant that you were a female who chose to work.
Hmm.
A winch was someone who was a female with a job.
Hmm.
Their title
Hmm.
was winch.
Hmm.
Maiden is any female of marriageable age that has not been married or deflowered.
Okay.
That's actually where the term old maid comes from.
Ah,
Because the
yes.
idea of an old maid is someone who is an old woman who just never got married.
Uh-huh.
So
That's interesting.
so yeah,
Okay.
so like most of the people who complain about this shit don't know anything. And by the way,
No.
the Bible defines eunuchs as a third gender. It specifically says that they are neither man nor woman. But
It's
speaking
in
of
the Bible.
yep, speaking of women and the Bible, that brings us to
Candace
Candace
Owens.
Owens.
I mean, we were talking about making her a Nazi,
But
or
yeah, no, no,
categorizing her as Nazi. We're not making her a Nazi, but
she is.
okay.
You don't get to be that anti-Semitic and not go in the Nazi category. Like I understand that some people might be tempted to be like, Candace Owens is right about Israel. But like the thing I'd have to remind those people is, yeah, but she doesn't care for the same reason that you care.
Yeah, exactly. It's for a totally different reason.
It's because to her this is an opportunity to start pushing those anti-Semitic talking points and getting the anti-Semitic audience online.
Exactly, which creates a lot of hatred, and I'm sure it probably generates a lot of money for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's we're in a very, very dangerous place right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And up next we have another useful idiot.
I don't know who
This
that is.
this is Sneeko.
Oh, okay.
Sneeko used to be a red pillar.
Hmm.
Actually, he started off as a really normal kid. He started
Hmm.
off as a really normal kid with a YouTube channel who would like make videos where he talked about life and would overlay the footage over like video game footage. And for a while, he was super chill.
Hmm.
And then apparently he went to a sex party and watched another man have sex with his girlfriend, and it may have driven him insane.
Wow.
He then ended up in the red pill spaces, aligning himself with Andrew Tate, who I just realized is someone who is missing from this thing. Although, in fairness, I don't know if it's really worth adding Andrew Tate, because he'd just go an anti-woke culture grift anyways.
Yeah.
Um, but Sneeko aligned himself with Andrew Tate for a while. They are currently feuding, though.
Oh.
Because when Andrew Tate, Sneeko, and was it the Fresh and Fit guys? Oh, I know Clavicular was there. If you know who Clavicular is, he's a guy who's
Wow.
famous right now for looks maxing.
What's looks maxing?
Oh my god, that's a whole can of worms. But right now, there's this guy called Clavicular who is part of a looks maxing community, which is essentially, by the way, the looks maxing community. People who like study like cultural decline say is a big red flag. But it's a bunch of men online who are obsessed with enhancing how attractive they are. And I don't know, have you heard of bone smashing?
Well, okay. How enhanced are we talking?
So they do a thing called bone smashing, which is where you take like a hammer or something heavy and you repeatedly hit the part of your face that you want to change the look of.
Ooh, that's extreme.
It is extreme. He
Okay.
also does meth to stay skinny. He takes testosterone. He takes minoxidil. He takes, and by the way, he's like 22, 23.
Oh my God.
He takes Cialis. He takes all this shit. He exercises all this stuff. He is mentally ill.
Yeah, that sounds more like it.
But he
Yeah.
was in the club with Sneeko and Andrew Tate, and I want to say the Fresh and Fit guys were there, but I'm not 100% certain.
Hmm.
when they started playing the new Kanye West song about Hitler. That
Oh.
that got Sneeko banned from Miami.
Oh God.
Specifically Miami nightclubs, I think.
Oh geez. Okay.
But Sneeko is currently feuding with Andrew Tate because Andrew Tate essentially threw all of them under the bus when the thing happened.
Hmm.
Oh, Sneeko! It's worth noting that Sneeko is also like he's also a Muslim or claims to be a Muslim.
Okay.
But the truth about Sneeko is that like honestly, Sneeko is just a useful idiot.
Okay.
Oh, he was also heavily involved in like the Kanye West Nazi thing.
But he's not a Nazi.
I am not actually that's fair. I don't 100% know if he is a Nazi. He
Hmm.
never comes on as strong as Fresh and Fit or Kanye West did. But you know what? Maybe he is a Nazi. I there's enough reason to think that he is at bare minimum actually, he's at least Nazi adjacent.
Okay.
Um should I put him in Nazi or Nazi adjacent? Hmm. That is a tough call. You know what? He has Heil Hitler on the stream before, so we're gonna put him there
Oh.
until I hear
I
him
feel
say
like that's
until
a
I
good indicator.
until I hear him say he doesn't hate the Jews. We're gonna put him there. This next gentleman, who I don't know where they got this photo of him. I'm gonna make sure this is who I think it is because like this photo actively looks too good to be this guy.
It looks like Nicolas Cage is auditioning for the role of Jesus.
Oh god, it is who I think it is. All right, so this is. Side note: there is apparently a recent Nicolas Cage movie where he plays Joseph, but this is currently, and this is alarming. This is currently Twitch's most popular political streamer.
Okay.
This is the Rat King himself, Osmond Gold. Not familiar? Okay, not surprised.
Nope.
Osmond Gold started off as a game streamer, and now he mostly does anti-lib slop.
Uh-huh.
His viewpoints are incredibly racist. He he recently spouted a talking point about I forget where it was, but a place in Africa having an average IQ of like 68,
Yep.
which by the way is semi-significant because that's the same IQ the British claimed the Irish had to justify their occupation of them. But yeah, no. Osmond Gold is disgusting. And this picture would falsely lead you to believe that he is an attractive person. That picture needs to be at least 30% more Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like he can apparently clean up for whatever type of event this is that he was at when this was taken. But on average, on his stream, he does not look that good. He
Hmm.
is most known for being like he is disgusting.
Hmm.
He literally never cleans his room. He once was using a dead rat as an alarm clock
How?
because what would happen is that the sun would come up and heat the dead rat and it would wake him up. He had a dead rat somewhere in his room, and when the sunlight would hit it, it would get hot and the smell would wake him up.
I don't think that would last for very long.
It lasts like to do it for any extended period of time is too long. Let's be real. Let's be real about that.
No, on yeah, I understand that. That is very, very weird.
He is disgusting. He is
Yeah.
disgusting. I just realized I need to turn up my mic input. But he's disgusting. He is the Rat King. I don't know if he. Here's the other thing, though, is that he's wildly uneducated. Just literally one of those people who doesn't know anything.
That's a common theme here.
It is. It alarmingly is.
Yeah.
He's totally a grifter, but like I gotta put him in at least Nazi fascist adjacent.
Adjacent. Okay.
He might actually be. I would say he's a fascist,
Hmm.
but I genuinely don't think he. has I don't believe he has coherent political beliefs.
Okay.
I don't think that he has what it takes to have those. Okay, and this guy next guy's name is Nuxtaku. I don't have a whole lot to say about him other than that he is disgusting woke grifter. He is anti-woke grifter. He's most known for defending lolicon, which is a Japanese art style that is all about drawing women so that they look like they are like 11 years old.
Okay.
And it's
That's
no,
that's weird.
it is weird. It is weird. That is what he is most known for. He is disgusting. This next guy, another culture war grifter, easy placement. It's nerdrotic. He's just like all these other guys. He's literally just like all these other guys I put him in the middle of. Just
It's weird to me how just weird it's not weird. It's telling how weird all of these people are. Just very, very strange
yeah.
individuals.
Nerdrotic's just another guy who hates new movies, comic books, and video games because they're too woke.
It's
Just like
annoying.
all these other fucking nerds. But now that brings us to a juicy one here. Kanye
Kanye.
West.
I mean, I think he's a Nazi, right?
Yeah, Kanye West is a Nazi.
So
I would
weird.
actually put him above these. Actually, no, I'd probably put him.
I might put him above Candace Owens.
Yeah, actually, I would put him above Candace Owens. In fairness to Kanye, he does have a lot of mental illness, and that does not justify being a Nazi, to be clear.
Hmm.
But it does make him more vulnerable to manipulation from people like, oh shit, that's who we're missing.
Who's
That's
that?
who's not on. Oh, wait, no, never mind. What am I talking about? We did this guy earlier. He's Nick Fuentes. For a second,
Oh,
I
okay.
forgot we already did Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, yeah.
But like Nick Fuentes, like the gang that was hanging out was Nick Fuentes, Kanye West, and Sneeko. That is actually the group of three people who went to Mar-a-Lago to see Trump.
Oh,
Those are
okay.
the three people who showed up at Mar-a-Lago with. It was Kanye West, Nick Fuentes, and Sneeko.
Okay.
And Nick Fuentes is such a Nazi that Donald Trump was warned not to associate with him.
Yeah. But he
Um,
did it anyway.
and like literally, Sneeko and Nick Fuentes got in because they were with Kanye.
Okay.
So yeah, Kanye is a Nazi who is, by the way, trying to do his "I Found Jesus" arc for like the third time right now.
Yeah, it's something tells me there was something I read recently where I feel like he's getting help. So,
Hmm.
I don't know.
But yeah, no, he's going through.
I mean, aside from that, I'm pretty sure the guy is a has a narcissistic personality too. So like that combination
Probably.
is just dangerous.
Oh,
So
probably. He's
speaking of
got
narcissists,
Kanye West is also one of those people who, when he doesn't understand things, he just maps on whatever he does.
yeah, yep,
Like, and you can
yeah.
find that in interviews with him, where he'll talk about a thing that isn't music and then compare it to music
Mm, hmm hmm
because it's the only thing he really understands.
yeah,
Like, I'm not gonna knock Kanye's talent as like a clothing designer or a musician,
mm
but like as everything else, no, he's terrible.
yeah.
Side note, it was not surprising at all when he was fired from Adidas because literally what he was doing is a crime in the country that Adidas is from
hmm
because Adidas is from Germany.
Yeah,
So like literally there was no way Adidas wasn't going to end that contract.
yeah, yeah. We don't. Other countries don't have the same sort of free speech laws that we have here.
Yeah. Now that brings us to these people who I've added to the list. We'll start with
Okay.
a guy who is essentially, I don't know where to put this guy. I'm going to put him in useful idiot and while I explain who he is.
He's. I know
That's
who that guy is.
you know Jesse Lee Peterson?
Yeah. He's a fascist, dude. Like some of
You're
his
right. You're right. He is a fascist.
some of his takes on
But he
fascist, not necessarily Nazi. I don't know. Is he a Nazi?
Oh, you're right. I did put him in Nazi instead of fascist.
I some of his takes about women and
Hmm.
African Americans, which is ironic because he's an African
Oh yeah, no.
American,
He is a
and Yeah, he's
The
got
internet
some
calls
really
him
shitty takes.
The internet calls him Uncle Ruckus for a reason, because he is a very black hating black man.
Yeah, it's and
It's his entire thing
yeah.
is hating women and especially black women.
The most recent thing I
He's
think I saw
probably
from
gay too.
him, the most recent thing I think I saw from him was he was talking about how the Democratic Party was the party of the Confederacy.
Hmm.
And anytime anybody makes that argument, I kind of just tune them out because
Hmm.
you don't understand shifting political ideologies. And like while that might be true in title and in name, it's not true in beliefs. And so it's yeah.
Yeah, and then everyone talks about how the Southern strategy never happened, even though we've got who was it? Lee Atwater? I forget. Somebody who worked for Nixon is on tape saying it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then also like you can just look at like that time period of Democrats and Republicans switching parties,
Yeah.
and then you can and then on top of that, which party now is mad when you take down Confederate statues?
Yep.
It's not the
It's
Democrats.
not the Democrats.
It's
That
the
is for
Republicans.
sure.
Who's
Yep.
flying the Confederate flag? The same people flying the MAGA flag.
Yep.
Let's not sit around and pretend like somehow Democrats are the Confederates these days.
Yep.
It's clearly not true. And I'm not saying there aren't any racists in the Democratic Party. I'm just saying if you are buying the bullshit that the Southern strategy didn't happen, you are a lost cause.
Yep.
Pun intended.
Yep. Yep.
Pun intended.
I love that. That was very well put, Ruben.
Thank you.
Mhm. This next one, if we're skipping, where are we going?
Let's you know what? Let's start with Tommy Lauren here.
Yeah, I
Where do you think
think
Tommy Lauren should go?
I mean at least like at best center right. But
Okay.
I again, I haven't heard her say anything over the last like 3 years
Hmm.
that, she might be Nazi fascist adjacent. Um, I don't think she's a culture war grifter. She's not like that. I mean, she is like everybody on this list is pretty much anti-woke. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Well, because
But
that's the major talking point now.
yeah, and I might be gracious with putting her at center right, but she could be Nazi fascist adjacent. But like I said, haven't heard any of her takes over the last like
Fair.
3 years.
If you disagree with this placement of her at center right, please leave a comment.
Please leave a comment.
Which
Nah.
that then it's Megan Kelly.
She's Nazi. She might have been fascist adjacent before, or I'm sorry, center right before Trump 2.0, but she's gone
Yeah.
out. She's
Yeah,
gone.
no. When she went on her show and said it wasn't that we and tried to like run cover for Epstein and Trump having sex with teenagers, that shit was
She's like,
wild.
yeah, we're not talking about children. We're talking about teenagers. Like somehow that's supposed to make it worse or better.
Yeah, Megan Kelly, I hate to tell you this, but like nowhere in America is 14 the age of consent.
God.
Like there are some states that are super questionable about it, but even they, I believe even then the lowest level is still like 16 in America.
It's 16 and it's yeah. I think it's like
And even then the federal is 18.
yeah. Yeah, no,
Which
that's
means the second you cross a state line, it's a problem. And also, many states also still have corruption of a minor charges, which is
Mhm.
another thing that people don't really take into account when they talk about age of consent.
So many things have changed about with age of consent. Because, like, what's wild is like in the 90s, like Jerry Seinfeld went
Age of
to
17-year-old.
a prom. Like, how fucking weird is that?
That's pretty weird. That's pretty weird. Going to a prom because you're dating a 17-year-old, it's pretty weird, Jerry.
That's strange.
Side note, that's what caused the feud between him and Bobcat Goldthwait. Is
Oh,
that
really?
Bobcat Goldthwait was the first comedian to call Jerry Seinfeld out for dating a high schooler.
Good for Bobcat, man.
Yeah, no, and Jerry Seinfeld has never forgiven him. he is still mad at Bobcat.
That sounds accurate. Like I'm gonna admit it. I love the television show Seinfeld is one of my favorite shows growing up, but I really think that show is more of a product of Larry David than it is Seinfeld.
Oh, for sure.
But Seinfeld, like just some of his like he seems like just somebody who doesn't do a lot of self-reflection. Well, for a
Agreed.
comedian
Agreed.
that does like a lot of everyday sort of observations about things. Like he doesn't seem to change his mind at all. I think he did change his mind when Julie Louis-Dreyfus called him out on something. And
I heard about that.
yeah, this was maybe like a year or two ago, where
Yeah.
he was like, I said this and I was wrong. And that's only because Julie Louis-Dreyfus called him out on
Yeah, good for her.
it. Yeah.
She has had a much more successful acting career than Jerry.
Well,
And
well,
Bobcat makes better
but
movies.
she's an actor.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And and Bobcat makes way better movies.
And
Like
yeah, I would
all
agree.
of Bobcat's movies are better than a B movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I don't know what was the
Seriously, I do
last
love
movie
Bobcat's
Bobcat
movies.
did, man.
Say what?
What was the last movie Bobcat did?
Bobcat. What was Bobcat Goldthwait's last movie that he directed? I feel like he did something more recently. But the movies that I remember one of my favorite movies of all time that he directed, wrote and directed was World's Greatest Dad with Robin Williams.
Oh, really?
After that, he did a movie called God Bless America,
Mhm.
which is a very dark comedy
Mhm.
starring Joel Murray.
Okay.
Which is about a guy and a teenage girl who go on a shooting spree across America because they're tired of everyone being so mean.
Oh, I remember hearing about this movie. Okay.
It's honestly I enjoy it.
Okay. Cool.
But let's refocus here now that
All
we've taken
right.
that Seinfeld detour.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, oh wait, I feel like I should comment one last thing on that age of consent thing. The story of the age of consent is that the age of consent is always changed by women.
Oh, interesting.
Women activism is the main reason that age of consent goes up.
Oh.
In the 1800s, it was raised to 14 from what was typically 10 or 12.
Mm.
Yeah. And men stood up in the Senate and tried to argue that a 12-year-old knows how to turn a man down. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Shit was crazy back then.
That's wild.
And then it got moved up to 16 in the 20th century and then eventually 18.
Yeah.
This weirdly enough, it never seems that men are interested in addressing the age of consent. And in fact, two countries are in the process, like Japan just raised their age of consent to 16.
Wow.
And that is specifically because of women activists.
Mm.
And France, I don't know if France just gave themselves an age of consent of 15, which puts them on par with Italy.
Okay.
Side note, Europe is gross. But
Europe is a little Europe is got some different attitudes towards different things.
which, speaking of gross, next up is Pete Hegseth.
I think he's a Nazi, man.
He is bare minimum a fascist.
Yeah.
I don't actually know if he's a Nazi. And I'll tell you why. I'm going to put him here for right now. A lot of people mistook this tattoo on his chest for he is a hardcore Christian nationalist.
Yeah.
A lot of people mistook this tattoo on his chest for a Nazi tattoo, but that's actually a Crusader tattoo.
It's a Crusaders tattoo, right?
Which
But
is
didn't he just recently wasn't there an African American woman who was a member of the armed services that he demoted or something because he didn't want her at the arms swearing in ceremony next to President Trump?
well, that sounds very believable.
Yeah.
I know he just. To be fair, fascists can be racist.
True, 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 true. Yeah.
I he seems too aligned with Israel currently to be a full-on Nazi.
Gotcha.
But to
Okay.
be fair, that could just be a convenience thing.
Gotcha.
The big thing with Pete Hegseth at this moment is that he is going around telling everyone in the military that this is a holy war, that God wants us to fight this war, and that this is literally about bringing about the rapture. This is a thing he is publicly saying to people in the military.
Do you think he actually believes that?
At a certain point, does it matter?
No, it doesn't. But like, what is your end game? Like, I don't understand. Like, if you think the rapture is coming, what
The
what
goal
is
is
your
to
end
do.
game?
The goal is to create Armageddon, so that Jesus comes back.
We need to outlaw religion, man.
That's
Um,
a little extreme,
yeah, it's going a little bit further the other way.
but
I was trying to quote George Carlin when he said you could outlaw religion and half of the problems that we deal with every day would just disappear.
some of them for sure.
Yeah.
But Pete Hegseth also removed a whole bunch of religions and even Christian denominations from the military chaplain list.
Oh, what an asshole. Fuck
It
that.
was over
God.
100, and now it's 32.
Oh my God. What are we
Um,
doing?
I don't know which ones he removed. I don't know if it's gone through entirely, and I don't know if it's official. But I do know he just fired. He's the first person ever to fire the guy in charge of chaplains.
Not surprised.
You know, Pete Hegseth is gross. Pete
Pete
Hegseth is an absolute fascist and a piece of shit.
Pete Keg's breath.
Keg's breath. I get it.
Hmm.
All right. Actually, I want to move these around because this is one of the less interesting people on this list, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you know what? Just even though she might be less interesting, it's just really heartbreaking.
It is sad to find out that she is terrible.
Yeah.
It is sad to find out that J.K. Rowling is terrible, that
Hmm.
she's in the Epstein files,
Hmm.
that when the Epstein files were released, she deleted her yacht dockets.
Hmm.
I don't know if you heard about that, but
No.
apparently that's like barely legal even.
Jesus.
And it's sad that she uses her immense wealth to actively persecute trans people. It's fucked.
I,
Which is
I just
why, which is why, even though a lot of what she does is technically culture war grifting, I would put her in. I would put her in adjacent.
adjacent. Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because honestly, that thing about her putting her money into hurting trans people, honestly, one could make the argument that that is good enough to go into fascist itself. But like,
Mm,
I genuinely don't know any of her other politics because she doesn't talk about her other politics anymore.
no. No, and that's the thing. If that is what you're leading with, and the only thing that you're leading with, then fuck.
Yeah, it's all she cares about now. It's
Yeah.
all she cares about.
That's like side note. This is part of the reason like why things have been just sort of frustrating. Like just with politics nowadays, when people like just seeing how people lead and what they lead with, uh, and like I've been trying to be as like there are some things that are going on like coming from the left that I kind of disagree with, but I'm not punching left.
Mhm.
I am not punching left, and I really sort of I used to kind of be like more of a centrist because I like ironically I was a I am a Hufflepuff, and I always felt that it was important for everybody to be together. I have kind of abandoned that at this moment because um I just think that centricism is also going to lead us. It's paving the path towards this authoritarian dystopian future that might be on the
Yeah,
horizon.
it
I
is.
yeah, and people and one of the things I've realized, and I could be wrong, this is something I'm toying with, and let me know what you think. People who are centrists who do like the whole both sides thing, they really don't have any values.
Yeah,
Their value is
100%.
finding the midpoint.
Hmm.
And if your value is simply finding the midpoint, you are simply just going to be pushed to the extreme that goes furthest.
Hmm.
If you don't have a value of like, I believe in the Constitution, I believe in free speech, I believe in the Second Amendment, whatever, at least you have a value that you can pin against that, like when something happens, you still are of good faith. Like we could still predict what you're saying. That is the problem with the vast majority of these people on this list, at
Yeah.
least the ones that I know, is that they have no values. They don't have
Yes.
anything that you could pin what they believe to. They are provocative, intentionally provocative, and they're trying to get the most attention out of people. And in that case, they're simply they're rage baiting. They're clickbaiting. That's what they're doing. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to
100%.
go on that rant there.
No, that rant is valid, and what you're
Mm,
saying is true. The vast majority of these people do not have real values, and even
hmm
the ones who appear to have values, the values are either terrible or questionable as to how if it's what they really believe. Like I said earlier, sometimes Nick Fuentes comes across like his real goal is to just say the most fucked up shit to get the most attention.
Yep.
He is there's a part of me that believes he is a Nazi, but there is another part of me that could easily believe that he is just someone who is willing to be a Nazi for attention.
Yep.
Like, that is the thing. I don't know what
Yep.
many of these people truly believe in.
Yep.
Sneeko, ironically, I think is someone who is wants to have values and believe in things. But he has been misled down these several paths of toxic masculinity and honestly red pill bullshit.
hmm
And he is just now starting to realize that the people he thought were his friends are not his friends. I don't know what Sneeko is going to look like in the next 5 years.
hmm
He might actually get better.
hmm
But even then, I'd still put him in the useful idiot category.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But now this brings us to possibly three of the most evil people on this
Yep.
list.
Yep.
Peter Thiel, who
I think he's at least a fascist,
oh
right?
yeah, no, like there's no doubt.
Mm.
Peter Thiel has Peter Thiel has said some of the most insane shit I've ever heard. Like
Yeah.
when he said that democracy is not compatible with freedom, I
hmm
just need to stop and be like, Peter, first of all, what do you think fucking freedom is? And
hmm
second of all, Peter, freedom is literally the only system we have found that is compatible with freedom.
You mean democracy is the only
Yes,
system that we've
democracy.
found?
Democracy is the only system we have found that is compatible with freedom. So when
hmm
he says that democracy is not compatible with freedom, there's a part of me that just goes, what system do you think is more compatible with freedom, Peter Thiel? You fucking disgusting troglodyte. And here's the thing.
He
This guy doesn't have a lot of the excuses that some of the other people on this list have. He's not uneducated.
no
He's not stupid. He
no.
has been manipulating America for years.
Yep. He's very smart. He's very wealthy. And look, correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't he have this idea that like basically America should be reformed into sort of like these like feudal pockets where basically like corporations are the overlords?
Yes. It's called techno feudalism. Ruben from the editing phase here on actual Easter. Happy Easter. Um I used the wrong term here. I said cyber feudalism or techno feudalism. No, the correct term is network state. What I'm referring to here is called a network state. Cyber or techno feudalism is a different thing. That's how Amazon works. Different concept.
hmm
And the
hmm
idea is that you would essentially, like, everything would slowly become concentrated oligarchies
hmm
where
Yeah.
people cluster based on like their technology that they use.
Yeah. And I believe he wants to try to use technology as currency. If I'm like computing power is the next form of currency,
Yeah.
which actually, if you think about it, computing power takes a lot of energy to produce.
Hmm.
So, how are you going to produce that energy with natural resources, which kind of makes sense why Trump 2.0 has been like talking about going after fucking Greenland, going after Venezuelan oil, going after oil in the Middle East. Like
They need energy and they need minerals.
Yeah.
They need to be able to
Yep.
make microchips, and they need to be able to run huge, huge machines at all
Huge data
times.
centers. Yep.
Yes, data centers. That was the word we're looking for. Huge
Hmm.
data centers just constantly running. That's what they need for their plans.
Hmm.
Never mind how
Okay.
much water that fucking eats.
Oh
Uh,
God. Yeah.
he's also obsessed with the Antichrist, which is interesting for several reasons.
Yeah. It's so weird.
He is also on board with apparently the let's do Armageddon to bring Jesus back thing, which is weird for several reasons. One, he's gay. Two, he is well enough educated that he should realize the book of Revelations is an allegory for empire and not a literal prophecy
Mm.
because it's not.
Hmm.
It many historians agree that it is literally about Nero
Hmm.
and that the whole
Hmm.
thing is an allegory for like how empire rots from the inside.
Hmm.
But Peter Thiel has taken that shit literally for some reason, and it doesn't make sense.
Nope.
Like Peter Thiel, it also doesn't make sense because Peter Thiel probably is the Antichrist. Like
He very well might be.
Peter, I would,
And it has nothing to do with his sexuality.
that's true. That's a fair point to say. It has nothing to do with his sexuality. His sexuality is just a piece of irony on this cake.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just ironic frosting on the cake. That's all that is. Like everything that's terrible about him has more to do with the fact that he is a corrupt billionaire oligarch that has been influencing Western society for too long and
Yeah.
is in the Epstein files and is the guy and is essentially the Rogan sphere handler because they
Yep.
no one dare speak ill of Peter Thiel on the
Nope.
Joe Rogan Experience.
And he also is sort of like a mentor to JD Vance, which is why
Yeah,
JD Vance has sort of abandoned his whole credo of a hillbilly elegy and all that stuff. It's really, really fucking sad and disappointing.
which reminds me,
Just Dance Vance.
we don't have JD Vance on here.
Ugh.
Okay, what's the
I'm actually kind of happy because I don't have to see his stupid fucking beard.
the
That beard is doing a lot of heavy lifting
it
for his.
is. You can tell by looking at this image of him where he's not. Where he
Put
doesn't
that
have
picture up. The one of him where that one right there.
this one.
Yeah.
You got a baby face under that beard for sure.
Yeah.
The thing, the thing about fucking Peter Thiel. I mean, sorry, not Peter Thiel. JD Vance. Is the
I think he's banging Erica Kirk. I think they're
oh
having an affair.
probably. It,
I
if
I kind of like there's a part of me that almost hopes he is just for it's like, all right, this guy doesn't really believe all the shit that he says.
like to be fair, I don't know why we actually chose the best looking picture of him. Did you like? I don't know if you saw those other pictures, but like the hard part about choosing a bad picture of JD Vance is like which bad picture do you go with?
Yeah.
He looks terrible in all of them.
He does. He's his yeah, this is pre-eyeliner too, so
Since,
so we're gonna JD Vance, I think is fascist. Yep.
yes, since he works for Peter, since he's in the pocket of Peter Thiel, he's a fascist, like
Yep.
no doubt.
Yep. Man, right there, right behind number two there.
Yeah.
Bibi Netanyahu, that's next. I mean, he really can't be a Nazi, but I mean,
Oh, he a fascist though.
he is exterminating Palestinians.
He is. Fascists can do exterminations too. I will say that.
Okay, okay. I think you might have said that before. Okay.
But I will say I'm going to put him in fascist
Uh-huh.
because it's pretty obvious. Like
Yeah.
his entire political stance is to rule with an iron fist.
Yeah.
He deliberately tried to consolidate the power of his judicial system into the executive branch of his own government.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's just so everyone knows, that's the big red flag for fascism. If
Yeah.
you notice that your government is trying to consolidate anything into the executive branch instead of spreading the power out, that's fascism.
That's by definition, it's fascist.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
that is a lot. Some people say that there isn't really like a government policy for fascism, but that's not true. The government policy for fascism is to consolidate power into the executive branch.
Yeah.
Anything else they can be flexible on because they have to be, because at the end of the day, whatever the executive branch says is what they're going with.
Right. Right.
So, yes, Bibi Netanyahu is a fascist.
Mm,
100%.
okay.
They
Which,
like that's the thing. That's why I'm so black pilled on the like Palestinian Israel conflict. It's because it's literally just like it's a violent conflict between two right wing authoritarian governments.
yeah.
Like it's not even subtle.
Hmm.
Like there is technically speaking a less right wing Palestinian government that runs the West Bank.
Hmm.
But in fairness, in that situation, Israel does not give a fuck that they are less authoritarian.
It does it. Yeah,
It literally does them no good to cooperate at the level they cooperate,
right,
and
right.
that's the thing. That's part of why it's fucked.
Hmm. Yeah. Yep, we could outlaw religion and that would solve a lot of the world's problems.
Indeed, indeed. All right,
Oh, here we go.
Donald Trump, the man, the myth, the legend, anti-woke grifter king. No, I'm kidding.
Oh
Uh,
God. No,
he
I mean, dude, I would
he's
almost put him in
100%
as
a
a
fascist.
Nazi. You would put him as a fascist?
I would put him as a fascist. He's worked with too many Jews. Um,
Yeah, that's
even if
true.
even if some of those Jews are obviously self-hating, like Roy Cohn,
Hmm.
he is still a fascist. Um,
Yeah.
in fact, the only reason I'm putting him behind these other fascists is because I don't think Trump actually has a politically coherent belief system.
No, I don't think so either.
He is our first postmodernist president.
Hmm. Yeah.
100%. He is a
Yep.
postmodernist.
Yep.
Perception matters more than actual material results.
Results. And that's actually, I think, some of the reason why, like, some things, like, he goes too far and then he sort of goes back is that there's so much of a response
Yeah.
that people like, and it could be like social media, it could be the news, whatever. Like, if something is a bad headline,
Mm-hmm.
he's like, I don't like this headline. We're going to change it. We're not going to do this anymore,
Mm-hmm.
which is, the Iran thing, though, I really think he's being blackmailed into Iran.
I mean, there's a very real. I mean, the most likely thing is that he is doing the thing in Iran because because they need to distract us all from the Epstein files.
Right. 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 It's a big distraction. Yep.
Both Donald Trump and Netanyahu can't let the Epstein files come out.
Nope. Nope.
Actually, most of the people on this list do not want the Epstein files to come out.
Which is interesting.
Almost like across this, like literally I could draw like literally like this chunk here. There's no way they want the Epstein files to come out.
Nope.
Like everyone in this category doesn't want that to happen. So this is what we came up with, and it is worth noting that we did not put Erica Kirk on here.
Nope.
But I would say that she would probably be in the same range as her hubby here.
Mm-hmm.
She'd probably be right next to him, maybe even a spot over, because she is also Epstein connected.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, unsurprisingly, actually, wait a minute. No, no, no. Culture war grifter is the largest category,
Yep.
but the second largest category is actually fascist.
Fascist. Yeah. Yeah.
Just tons of fascists.
Yeah. And I mean, look at the fascists versus I mean, just the center right,
Yeah, we got one
and then
person in
useful
there.
idiots.
Yeah, we got like two people in useful idiots. To be fair, we've got a lot of guys on unknown that we
Yeah.
just don't know well enough.
Yeah.
But like you're right, we got two useful idiots. We've got
One person and
and this
being
is
center right
dubious.
is still a little suspect.
We're not confident. We're not
Yeah, we're not
confident about
confident
her
in that,
being
bud.
there. We could have put Lauren Southern on here.
Yeah.
We could have put Lauren Southern. She'd be probably also in either culture war grift or Nazi adjacent.
Mhm. I feel like the people who are in that anti-woke culture war grift, getting back to like what we were saying, those seem like the people that like you really, really can't pin down what their belief systems are.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
even at a like even at a level where they're saying what they believe, you know?
Yeah. And it's because a lot of times people, especially grifters, don't have coherent political views.
No.
Like most of the people on here do not probably could not give you a very coherent view of politics or how politics should be conducted.
Nope.
A lot of these people are just, well, some of them are idiots. Some of them are awful monsters.
Yeah.
And a bunch of them are just like losers. Like
Yeah, they're attention seekers.
like so many of these are people who didn't get the fame that they wanted in the mainstream, so they went this other direction.
Yep.
So many
Ugh.
of them failed out of some level of education,
Or Hollywood.
or specifically Hollywood. Like
Mm-mm.
a lot of people on here used to be like Russell Brand used to be big in Hollywood. Joe
Yeah.
Rogan. Well, to be fair, Joe Rogan seems like he didn't actually enjoy acting.
He talks about acting in Hollywood a lot. I wonder, and he always sort of has a disdain for it, which like I kind of understand, but like at a certain level, I feel like he hasn't made peace with it.
It's possible that he hasn't. He
Yeah.
was talking. Joe Rogan was talking shit on Mark Maron the other day, saying that Mark Maron's career had gone downhill. But like Joe,
Mark
I don't
Maron's
think
doing
that.
fine.
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate. Joe, he
Well, that's
just
because Mark Maron was talking shit in his stand-up about Joe Rogan.
yeah. Like that's the thing is that like Joe Rogan's only measurement is that Mark Maron like stopped doing his podcast. But like
Yeah.
Mark Maron also like has way more TV and movie credits than Joe.
Hmm.
He's in
Hmm.
movies now. He's in
And I
TV
mean, you
shows
might
now. He
from
he had an HBO special come out last year.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And like Joe Rogan's his last stand-up special got widely criticized
Yeah,
as just not being very good.
yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a little bit. I think there are a lot of haters on this list.
But the thing about all of these people is that all of these this is the part that's distressing is that all of these people have some level of followers.
Yes, an uncomfortable level of followers.
Yeah. And
Mm.
like even people as stupid and like nothing to say as Dave Rubin have followers.
Yeah, and Tim Pool too.
Tim Pool, like the fact that anyone listens to Tim Pool is fucking mind melting.
I mean, again, this is sort of a personal anecdote. I have never met anybody who's like, "Oh yeah, I listen to Tim Pool all the time, and I really like him."
Same. Although those
Not saying
people,
they don't exist, but
oh no, they probably exist because they are frequently in my comment section.
oh, real? Oh, dang. Okay, all right.
Especially if I've done a video on Tim Pool, they will show up to be like,
I've
I don't
seen
know.
more people have like I do taxes for people, and I'm not anybody currently or anything like that, but at one of my old jobs, I saw people with subscriptions to InfoWars.
I'm not
So
surprised.
yeah, running through their credit card statements. So
Wild.
yeah, but like nobody subscribing to the Timcast.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the other thing is that like with Alex Jones, I could at least be like, well, Alex Jones is pretty entertaining. He's a wild card entertainer who occasionally gets drunk and rants about Joe Rogan's vagina and Trump getting gangbanged. Tim Pool is just a whiny piece of shit.
He is. He's
Yeah. All right. Any last thoughts on any of this experience?
no, this was illuminating. There's a whole culture of people online who I don't know about. And honestly, I don't know if I want to know about some of these people.
Here's the thing. Tom McDonald is the only MAGA rapper on this list, but he is
Uh-huh.
not the only MAGA rapper. He is just the most mainstream MAGA rapper. That's
Uh
what's crazy.
is he on Spotify? Can I check him out?
Probably.
Actually, you know what? I think I canceled my Spotify subscription, so I don't know if I can.
He
I'm
he
sure I can
he,
still search for him.
he is honestly terrible though. Like he's just ripping off Eminem to a degree, and like he looked like he just walks around looking like he's like Suicide Squad Joker.
Yeah, yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's kind of it.
yeah. Now and now he's a Christian nationalist. That's the big thing that he sells, and it's wild too because so much of his music is just him being provocative,
Mm.
just insulting liberals, talking shit on trans people. That's a big one he does. It's a big.
And you know what? That's another thing right-wingers love is they just love seeing liberals get pissed off.
Yeah, yeah, no. Which is
Yeah.
interesting because liberals wouldn't get pissed off if liberals didn't have some level of like beliefs.
Yeah, but like
I mean, I'm not saying there's no fake liberals.
there's certain things that maybe this is a topic for a different conversation. There are certain things that I think are legitimate to get pissed off about, and there's some things that I'm like, maybe we should just let this go. Like the Gulf of America thing to me was just something like just let it go.
Is anyone actually mad about the Gulf of America though, or is
Yeah,
that more of a
yeah.
meme?
There are a number of people I see in my feed that complain about that shit a lot, and I'm just like, spend your energy elsewhere.
I mean, it's annoying and stupid and a sign of fascism, but like, it's not remotely the worst thing that Donald Trump has done.
No. So, but anyways, man, I do have to run, man.
Of course,
It was really good catching up with you.
absolutely,
You
good
have
time.
a good Easter, and I hope you find all of the chocolate rabbits and bunnies and all that stuff, man.
100%.
Yeah,
All right,
you got
everyone.
any plans, any big plans or anything?
We'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping to see my kids, but if that doesn't work out, I'll probably go see the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Awesome. All right, man.
One of
Well,
those
you
two
have a
things is going to happen. Or maybe I
awesome.
can do them at the same time. We'll see what happens.
That could be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, it's time to say goodbye to the people who are watching this. Happy Easter, y'all. And once again, thank you to Dean for joining me here. Always a pleasure to have him on.
Thank you.
I thought this would be a fun activity for us to do, and I think I was mostly correct.
Yeah, this
Uh,
was fun.
yeah, with a shade, it's kind of sardonic, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have. I hope you like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you thought of this episode, or if you thought we should have put people in different places.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you want to say goodbye, Dean?
Hey, everybody, take care.
All right. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful whatever, wherever, whoever you are. Unless you were in the fascist or Nazi category, then I hope you have a bad day.
Yeah.
Special thanks to BScove17, a supporter of this program. If you would like to support this program like BScove17, you know where that button is.